Yeah.
And they'll be filling in.
Yeah, you could also start streaming, like, and just put the thing up maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes before we start. Oh, I was like, what the fuck?
We'll just do that.
It's a ghost.
Oh, it's good. And a cash.
Give me the 4. What it does, guys?
4 minutes until showtime.
How's it hanging? Whoa. Oh, I guess that answers the question we've all been wondering. No. How you doing?
I'm good.
Is 653-3843 you? Right,
No.
so, no?
653-3843.
3843. Yeah, you already called in, so yeah, that has to be you. Didn't even know her own goddamn phone number. True.
I know you missed that whole music.
No, I don't. Yeah, as a host, we don't have to hear all that shit. 3 minutes.
Three minutes until showtime.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
2 minutes until showtime.
How many? I was gonna say, how many headphones do you need? Are those wireless?
What?
Are those headphones wireless?
Play what?
Are those headphones wireless?
Yes. I just turned the Bluetooth off.
Gotcha. If you walk on the street and hear the way you're hearing right now,
It's different out there.
no, it's not.
Really? Some of the walks I've taken,
Just don't get lost in the sauce.
not us, okay.
At least you're not a man, so you don't have to worry about ending up in any bodies of water around here dead. Are we live?
No, because the fucking camera's not on. I just waved and I forgot that I had just the logo
Oh,
up.
okay.
They can hear us.
What's up, mother
1
tuckers?
minute until
As you can see, the
showtime.
show is about to start in 1 minute, and we will go live, and then you mother tuckers can see us and hear us and all of that. So go call all your friends and tell them that ParanormalHooD is about to go on.
I'm Freddy. That's right. The man of your dreams is back.
You guys on YouTube are lucky too. You get to see the stuff and hear it before the people on Blog Talk actually get to hear it. They still got 30 seconds before they can hear all this stuff. Oh, I can't see that shit though. Ha ha. Ha ha. Show about to be go live, yo. Y'all be watching on YouTube.
Your show will go live in
You need to
5
hear
seconds.
this shit, okay?
4, 3,
Here we go.
2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome! ParanormalHooD. Who the fuck is this? ParanormalHooD. Who the fuck is this?
ParanormalHooD.
Who the fuck is this?
lucky ducks and press your luck.
Freak with me as I crawl on the hood.
We have a paranormal voice off the hood.
Freak with me as I crawl on the hood.
Jiggy on the hoodie.
Freak with me as I crawl on the hood. You're listening to Paranormal Hood Live Radio with the sound of DJ Ron Black.
From Boston outer space, we're going to take you all over the place. So sit back and enjoy the ride, because this is Paranormal Hood Live.
20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
She. Welcome, foolish mortals.
What's Hood Hoodies? Welcome to the Thursday night. This is Paranormal Hood Live. We are live and direct in the Garden of Knowledge Studios. I am your host, Jiggy.
I'm Smoke King. You can hear me?
I don't know if your mic is turned up, Metaphor. Metaphor, why don't you, can you get up there and go adjust, turn some mics up over there a little bit, please? 'Cause I think even our mics are turned down. Put your little book down. I know what you're reading about. Show's live. We need your help for a second. Give us a second so she adjusts the mics. All right, see the first two? Turn those up just a little bit. And turn yours red one up. And yours should have red. There you go.
Right there?
Yep. All right.
All right.
All right, folks, we're going to try this again. So we're live and direct in the Garden of Knowledge Studios, and I am your host, Jiggy.
I'm Smoke King.
Metaphor here.
And it's another Thursday night. You know, it's funny when I play that, can you dig it? Having to explain to to Wiz about the Warriors. It's like, yeah, because, well, yeah, exactly. He wasn't even born yet. It's like, it's not on his radar. He knows nothing about it. And the irony of like, dude, are you kidding me? That's like a cold classic that almost anybody over a certain age bracket knows about. It's one of those movies that everybody I know pretty much saw when they could, because that shit was in the movie cinemas for like 2 minutes around here. They're like, oh, no, too violent. But yes, we're not here to talk about movies. Well, not necessarily. Sometimes we do talk about movies. We're here to talk paranormal. We're here to talk Paranormal Hood Talk. So again, welcome, folks. Anybody who's listening via Blog Talk, you can go over to YouTube. We are live and direct on YouTube. The chat on YouTube is always awesome. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Don't be shy. Don't be parapunks. Feel free to say hi, where you're from, what you're doing. You've been here before. If you're new, just follow along. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And if you're watching on YouTube and at some point you want to partake in the show, maybe you want to chime in on what we're talking about, be a part of the conversation, all you have to do is call the number. We'll post it during the breaks. We play a little music, but just so you know, if you want to get ahead of the game, 563-999-3033 is the number you call. And you can sit in there, and then when you're ready to say something, you just press 1. Okay? It's that simple. So we're about as live and direct as we possibly can be, but we also let you know that next week, we have a news source where you'll be able to check us out too. So, you know, there's different things going on. So just feel free to just keep following along. You know what I'm saying? Say hi in the chat, man. Don't be fucking sitting out there like y'all can't. Just lurkers. Oh, lurking. But yes, so again, if you don't know how we do the show, you know, we're just gonna walk you through how things get done, okay? You know what I'm saying? Today we're going to be talking about severe weather, and trust me, being New Englanders, we all know well, too well about this shit that they call severe weather. So we're going to be talking about that tonight when we get to the part of the show where we'll have a good 2-hour conversation, and we do the last one segment. So there's always time to talk, there's always time to chat. So don't be scared. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be scared. You can do all that with us. And then, of course, you know, how we start off the show, but I'm gonna give Smoking a minute because he's rolling those blunts.
Somebody else start reading stories.
Yeah, Metaphor. You wanna help us out here? No, she's like, what are you talking about? You have any news, Andy?
I don't
just
know
so
if
he
I
wants to
can
blunt.
do that.
No, we don't want you to do that. You can just maybe take over the news to him for a minute. But I'll give you a proper introduction and give you a chance to be fine. You know what I'm saying? But yes, folks. So how we start the show off is we like to take our time in between. And as you see, if folks who watch our little smoke sessions we do here on YouTube and stuff in between each show that we do on Thursday, we do smoke sessions, but those are pretty much keep you up to date with what we're doing. You know, we spend a lot of time down here in the Garden of Knowledge studios doing research via YouTube, definitely on the internet. We're looking up stuff, newspapers if it's necessary. Sometimes we even watch that mainstream news, but we're definitely watching it because we're trying to find for us and for you that weird, that strange, that odd, that different. And again, not necessarily mainstream, but definitely paranormal in nature. And we're looking for that news that could be here on Earth. And yes, I said Earth. Just roll with it. Maybe it's Middle Earth, down there with the Gollum, the precious. Or maybe it's up on the moon where I say Michael Jackson's alive and resides, and he's up there performing every night. It might even be Hitler up there telling him, go perform, Michael, it's time. Or maybe if Oster Mars, the red planet that I say I will hopefully touch. No, I will touch it before I die. These feet will plant solidly on Mars' surface, and I'll take it from there. Or maybe it's somewhere beyond, someplace we haven't been yet, someplace we know nothing about. Or if it's out there and someone's looking at it or finding some news about it, we can find it. We are going to bring it to you. And that, how we do it, is the segment we call Smoke King's Paranormal News. So I don't know if Smoke King's not ready yet, but maybe Metaphor might hit us with this little news to start us off.
Metaphors, paranormal news.
Right now. Come on, man. Do it, man. Do it. Do it. Speak up. I don't know. Make sure it's turned on. You know, people like to fuck around with the microphone. It's on. Tap it. Tap it.
Turn up the right red one.
Yeah, maybe you turn up the right red one. Probably not. You know, she's not really from around here. She's still acclimating herself
This
to
is
our
red.
air.
That was red.
Try that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hear her
This
now.
works a little better.
There you go. Loud and direct.
Okay. We
Even if
good?
folks try to jump in the chat, try to see who's in the chat, say hi and everything.
Hey, everybody. I'm going to start off a little bit of news. This one is titled, No, It's Not an Alien. Here's what that tiny pointed head skeleton really is. Okay.
Yeah, the Nazca, whatever, skull or whatever, that's the little thing, it's a little miniature thingy.
A mummified specimen from Chile.
Chile, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. A tiny pointed head skeleton that fits in the palm of a hand isn't an alien, despite conspiracy theories that have circulated this information for years. Okay. The skeleton with a dramatically elongated skull and an underdeveloped jaw and face was uncovered in Chile, Atacama Desert, in 2003.
Spit it out, Rayman.
And mystified what?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. And mystified scientists. Hang on a second.
It's okay.
Okay, this works better.
Get comfortable. We want you to be. They can't see you right now. They're going to see
Yeah,
us. So just get comfortable.
they tell me to take my coat off.
Hey, whatever, man. Whatever the audience wants. If they want you to, that's between you and them. If they want you to strip, then you can talk to them about that. I have nothing to do with that. I
Okay.
don't harass you around here.
Research published in 2013 offered some clues about the skeleton's bizarre appearance, but 5 additional years of genetic analysis have provided even more answers. Examination of the skeleton's entire genome revealed that it was Chilean. I think that's how you say that. And
Chilean.
Chilean. It was
It's gonna roll off
Chilean
the tongue.
and female. So it was a female Chilean.
She said Chilean.
Let's quit
You
it.
related to Chilean?
And that its misshapen skull and other deformities might be linked to a host of genetic mutations that affect bone development. Together with those mutations, shaped an array of abnormalities. Wow, I was throwing some letters in there. That gave the remains an alien-like form. Okay, so secret's out. It's not. It's not an alien.
It's not an alien.
Okay, the skeleton was the size of a 22-week-old fetus. It was initially thought to be 6 to 8 years to be a 6 to 8 year old child with severe deformities. Okay, so which one is it? Okay, including X-rays, computed tomography scans, and DNA sequences showed that it was a fetus and that it was definitely human. Okay, so, if you thought it was an alien, womp, 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 it is not. Okay, it's hard to tell how old the skeleton is just by looking at it, but prior examinations found it to be about 40 years old. Despite the skeleton's minuscule size, previous analysts cast doubt on whether it was a fetus because its advanced bone age more closely resembled that of a young child, particularly in the structure of the skeleton skull with sutures that were already fused. Okay, so they're going to keep bouncing this back and forth.
It's okay. Do your thing.
Yeah.
We're with you, man.
Okay. Scientists extracted DNA from one of the skeleton's ribs. They get ready to do the Adam and Eve thing. What? Another anomaly that previously had fueled speculation about alien origins, as there were 10 pairs rather than 12 normally found in humans. However, alien hunters will likely be disappointed to hear that the specimen is shown here to have purely earthly origins. Okay.
We're still aliens. I guess so. It's not an alien. It is an alien. What's an alien?
It actually looks like a necklace charm.
Yeah,
no disrespect.
Well, you wear that shit then. Let me see you.
Oh, no thanks.
If I want to wear one as a fucking necklace.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You see this thing?
Next thing you know, she be wearing ears and shit. Start collecting fingers and shit.
Quit it.
Be like dude that got busted with all the fucking giraffe penises and shit in fucking Thailand. That'd be you.
Well.
All
right.
Anything else going on with the news you
So
got to look with?
That. Hang on a second. Let me see.
Let me jump off the chat. Maybe I can even help. Smoking's a little busy, He has to make sure that the smoke is ready. He's rolling right now. The rest of the crew's not here yet.
I definitely can't get on that.
So give us a second. I'll find something good. Smoke something.
No.
Roll something.
I can't do that either.
Don't do that one either.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know which one you're talking about, but it sounded like it was scary.
Stabbing pig carcasses.
What?
With samurai swords.
I don't want to hear anything about stabbing pig carcasses.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay. I'll take their word for it on this one. This week's strangest science news. I don't know if you guys did this one already.
You got it? You want me to take one? Can you handle it?
Actually, if they give me some words here, I might be able to get this thing going.
Well, you roll it. I got one. Here we go. Circus lights spark alien invasion fears in England. A strange case of misidentification occurred in an English town earlier this week when residents mistook lights from a visiting circus for some kind of alien invasion. The confusion, which took place in the town of Horwich on Monday evening, began when numerous members of the community noticed odd lights and laser beams dancing across the sky. The weirdness was apparently off-putting enough that several witnesses actually called the police and expressed concern over what they were seeing. Authorities eventually issued a statement on their Facebook page to assure the public that they were not about to become enslaved by ET overlords. This is not the start of an alien invasion, police said, but rather to show lights emitting from the circus. Hopefully the cops who checked out the reports got it right, since the story sounds suspiciously similar to the start of the classic cult film Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Okay, that was fun. Killer Clowns. You ready now?
Oh, kind of, sort of. I don't know how this thing is laid out. Wow. I'm just going to start reading some stuff, because this is kind of freaky. Okay. A robot designed to flip hamburgers has been fired from a fast food restaurant for being too good at its job. The robot fry cook named Flippy started working at a Cali Burger fast food restaurant on March the 5th. 2 days later, Flippy was suddenly retired by store management. The reason? Maybe it's for selling hamburgers. I don't know. It turns out that Flippy was flipping. Okay, lights.
Say that shit 20 times fast. Flippy was flipping. Flippy was flipping.
It turns out that Flippy was flipping burgers too quickly for the human staff to keep up with. Okay. And then it see, and this is what I'm talking about. And then it skips and then it goes on to talk about, hey, good news, platypus milk.
Okay, well, I don't care.
What
okay.
the?
All right, yeah.
What page am I on?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh
what
my
the fuck
gosh.
you're reading, but yeah. They
LiveScience.com.
couldn't just turn Flippy down a little bit? Like, you couldn't just program Flippy to be like, all right, Flippy, just make yourself a little slower. Fuck. See? Folks worry about them fucking ain't gonna have fucking machines flipping your burgers and shit.
That kind of made me sick.
Don't ask any extra anything. All right. Star Trek style teleportation is possible, and we could be beaming to other planets within decades, says Michio Kaku. Star Trek is by now said to have encouraged a whole host of current devices from the iPad to the holodeck to virtual reality. Now, a very famous theoretical physicist says that even its teleporter is technically very much possible, and it could become an actuality before the end of the century. We had this conversation when Hakeem was here with us. Professor Michio Kaku said that the several breakthroughs required to transport humans rapidly have already been made, and it's not far from when we will be beaming across the cosmos. Michio Kaku is a professor at the City University in New York. Dr. Michio Kaku said, "You know the expression, beam me up, Scotty? We used to laugh at it. We used to laugh when someone talked about teleportation, but we don't laugh anymore, Quantum teleportation already exists, and I think within a decade we will teleport the first molecule." He also said that as humans we have already achieved this at an atomic level, reports The Express. The phenomenon is called quantum entanglement, and it permits links to be made between atoms with the information being directed to others further away. In particular, the entanglement particles are linked in such a way that the action of one openly affects the others, and if they are parted over huge distances, Albert Einstein himself called the spooky action at a distance. Earlier studies have revealed atoms teleporting through a room and light being teleported through the Danube River in Australia. Last year, physicists at the University of Geneva achieved teleportation by teleporting the quantum state of photon to a crystal over 25 kilometers, which is 15 miles, of optical fiber. The experiment broke the previous records of 6 kilometers, 4 miles, achieved 10 years ago by the same group. Once researchers have effectively teleported molecules, Dr. Kaku considers it as the next step will be to send photos to a lunar base before testing with bigger objects, animals, and ultimately humans. Why they gotta test with animals? During a new Big Think interview, Dr. Kaku said, "In the coming years, we do expect to be able to teleport molecules, maybe water and carbon dioxide. After that, who knows, maybe even DNA. Though critics have debated that there are way too many atoms in the human body to interpret into physical data, then teleport and then reposition in order. There's also the dispute that in order to transport a live object, it would have to be commandably, I've never seen this word before in my life. I apologize for messing it up. Die and come back to life when the atoms are shattered down and reconstructed."
Beat me up, Scotty.
Dr. Kaku said that also teleportation is actually possible. It does come with a set of decent problems that we need to be solved. Cool. I mean, again, I don't want to be like, I need to be like the millionth person they teleport or some shit. I don't want to be in the first group of motherfuckers that be fucking up and lose some limbs or some shit and everything. Don't come back right. All right, anybody else ready to take over the news from me?
Yeah.
I can't find any good ones.
We ready for Smoke King's news now? Sure. Smoke King's gonna step in and take over.
Alright, let's see here. This a little closer. We'll light another one in a second. Give it that one. Alright, Stephen Hawking submitted a final scientific paper 2 weeks before he died, and it could lead to the discovery of a parallel universe. Stephen Hawking submitted his final scientific paper just a week and a half before he died, and it lays the theoretical groundwork for discovering a parallel universe. Hawking, who died last Wednesday at 76, was co-author to a mathematical paper that seeks proof of the multiverse theory, which the existence of many universes other than our own. The paper, called A Smooth Exit from Eternal Inflation, had its latest revisions approved March 4th, 10 days before Hawking died. According to the paper, it is due to be published by an unknown leading journal after a review is complete. The Cornell University website that tracks scientific papers before they are published has a record of the paper, including a March 2018 update. According to the paper, it sets out the mathematics necessary for a deep space probe to collect evidence that might prove that other universes exist. The highly theoretical work poses that evidence of the multiverse should be measurable in background radiation dating to the beginning of time. This, in turn, could be measured by deep space probe with the right sensors. Thomas Hergott, a physicist professor who co-authored the paper with Hawking, said the paper aimed to transform the idea of a multiverse into a testable scientific framework. Hergott, who works at KU University in Belgium, told the Sunday Times he met with Hawking in person to get final approval before submitting the paper. The newspaper said that if such proof were ever found, it would make the scientists behind it likely candidates for a Nobel Prize. However, since Nobel Prizes cannot be awarded posthumously, Hawking would be ineligible to receive it. And that's all it says. But that's interesting, and you know, see if they can do it. They're gonna build this fucking probe and send it into space and see what's out there.
Anything's possible. See what's out there.
Alright, let's see, what do we got here? Bigfoot researchers examined recent reported sighting in Delaware County. Oh, no, I'm not doing a survey to read the article. Sorry, hold on. One second. Something else here.
No Bigfoot news.
Alright, here we go. Let's see if this one. There we go. Alright, Bigfoot news. Bigfoot proof. Sasquatch hunter discovers huge footprints in the U.S. wilderness. Cliff Barackman, who has been on the trail of the mythical beast for 20 years, recovered giant footprints from an abandoned mattress in the U.S. wilderness. Photos show the barefooted prints measuring an enormous 13 inches long by 5.5 inches wide, impressed upon the fabric and mud. In the distance between one footprint and another, heel to heel, was a monstrous 48 inches, suggesting a truly giant animal. Mr. Barackman, 47, said the prints were found in Elder State Wayside Park, Oregon, a place where Bigfoot sightings are common. There's a long history of reports from the surrounding locations, he said. I have a contact that lives 2 miles from where the prints were, and he has heard Sasquatches several times over the years of living there. He is also aware of numerous sightings from the surrounding woods. There is no obvious reason why a human would be barefoot in the woods either. In these woods either. It is a very rural area, rural area, said Brackman. The park is surrounded by miles and miles of mixed woods and farmland in the foothills of the Coast Range of Oregon. There's a mattress there. How rural is it? I mean, did Bigfoot drag it up there to get it on with Mrs. Bigfoot? I mean, what's going on? He's like, all right,
let's do it here, baby.
I'm sick of doing it on these rocks and shit. Yeah. I was down in the city and I saw a mattress out by a dumpster. I'm going to get that shit. He dragged that shit up into the fucking mountains.
Epic fail.
The width of the print is nearly 40% beyond human dimensions, he added. The print is between 13 and 13.5 inches long, which is pretty long, but it's the width that makes these not human. These are well beyond the width of human foot of that length. Cliff also recently appeared in Animal Planet documentary Finding Bigfoot. Believes that the prints are the real deal. We can never know for sure if Sasquatch made them or not, but they do appear to be authentic, he said.
Okay.
They are certainly a unique piece of evidence in that this sort of thing has never been obtained before. I guess.
If he says so.
Now that's the dumbest shit I've heard all week.
I guess.
Let's see.
Feet prints of Bigfoot. We got Bigfoot prints. Hey, you want a quick short story? Just might have a little.
What do we got over
real
here?
quick one.
Move over Pokemon Ghostbuster World about to take over the AR game. Ghostbuster World is one of several games launched in collaboration with Google Maps API. Much like the Pokemon Go, gamers use their phone to navigate the real world, watching their in-game characters traverse an alternate reality according to their real-world GPS location. I guess they'll be looking for ghosts and then fucking killing them from the picture. It looks like he's got a proton fucking laser shooting on the screen of his phone and shit.
You are a huge nerd.
Can we get this game now?
I guess you can. I don't have a Google thing, but yeah, you could get it. Yeah, you can go chase ghosts.
Hold
so they're
up.
gonna turn everybody into fucking ghost hunters.
Let's go try this shit.
I'm gonna stick with Ingress.
Dude, listen.
You're an idiot.
And running around chasing ghosts. It's bad enough they were running around chasing fucking Pokemon and shit. Never chased them. Did you chase any Pokemon? Did you catch any Pokemon?
No,
Yeah,
I
got a
never
lot
played
of-
Pokemon,
No,
but I
Ingress.
want to try this freaking.
Okay. You give it a try real quick. Another quick story. Hiker vanishes at Delatov Pass, an area of Russia's Ural Mountains that became infamous after a 1959 incident involving the mysterious deaths of 9 hikers has seemingly claimed another victim. A Russian tourist visiting the site known as Delatov Pass reportedly went missing in the remote location sometime in February. It was not until the end of the month, when Alexander Andreev was supposed to return from his solo expedition, that friends and family realized that something had gone awry. A search and rescue mission was subsequently launched, but it would appear that the endeavor failed to produce any answers, as there are no reports from Russian media pertaining to Andreev being found. Having now been gone since at least mid-February, the man's chances of having survived this long in the harsh conditions of the Ural Mountains are either slim or outright non-existent. Eerily, Andreev is the third person to have either died or be presumed to have perished at Delatov Pass in the last 2 years. And while these deaths were not as confounding as the still unexplained event which killed the hiking party that lent its name to the area 5 decades ago, they collectively add a chilling coda to the story of Delatov Pass and suggest that those wishing to pursue answers at the site might wish to reconsider. Close insiders looking to learn more about the... Yeah, sorry, that's more of an ad, but yeah, so... Delatov, I don't know if you know anything about that. We've actually talked about it in the past, like with strange disappearances and stuff, so... All this technology and shit. Why would you go out there alone? Like, if you know motherfuckers is disappearing, I guess that's a brave soul. Any more news over there? You found the game?
No, they can't get the game yet, I guess.
That's not a real game. They're fucking with you.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Never know. Could be a cool game. Alright, let's see here. Giant alien head found on Mars and labeled by NASA as Crazy Alien. I don't know, this dude Moxie Warren doesn't. I don't know.
Scott C. Warren, this is different.
Yeah, Scott C. Warren. Let's go. This interesting tidbit of info I just found on a NASA site. This was found and recorded by NASA on January 26th. And yet no one has never heard of it until now. This crater on Mars is called Crazy Alien. Yeah, you heard me right. NASA named it after an alien. They see an alien face here. The measurement bar in the upper left of the photo tells us how long, 150 meters. So this head is about... What? Oh, okay, yeah, I got what they're saying. So, according to this, it's about 350 meters by 400 meters. The two eyes are each over 250 meters long and perfectly matched in size and width. The ridges along the center forehead show a unique feature of the alien not often seen. No, they're not perfectly matched and shit, but yeah, it's, I mean, it's, I guess, hey, you want to see the alien head? I mean, could be. Yeah, if you see something that looks like an alien head crater, you're gonna name it an alien head crater. I mean, what's so curious about that? If you were looking for this fucking crater and you were the one that found it, Scott C. Warren, you would be like, yeah, we'll call that fucking Warren alien. Looks like a fucking alien head. Anyway, glowing triangular UFO photographed by airplane passengers over Texas, March 2018. This triangle UFO was seen by persons on a passenger jet over Texas this week. The UFO is glowing, probably due to the angle of the setting sun and the plane. I do not believe that people on the ground could see this craft. Notice the clouds hide it 90% of it below. The shape of the triangle and the fact that it is trying to hide itself is good evidence it's real. Excellent video by UFO Mania, Scott C. Warren.
Check the stream. Because nothing seems to be updated. Sorry, folks, to make sure. I don't know if you guys in the chat, make sure, can you tell us if you hear and see everything fine? I don't know, I was trying to chat, but it wouldn't let me chat. I was saying error, and then I tried to load it. It won't let me load. You hear us fine, Meta?
Yeah, everything is good.
Perfect. Crystal.
All right, so let's see here. Okay, might be a good one. Golden UFO seen leaving mountain peaks of Sedona, Arizona on March 28th. Bright golden lights were seen at Sedona this week in the mountains. The bright lights were caught in two different photos, always in the same location. The mountains would make a great exit area for UFOs that were leaving an underground base in the area. Also, in the clouds above the mountains is another golden UFO. It is unknown if the lights were seen by witnesses or when they got home, but often cameras catch the full activities of the moment where humans' eyes is more flawed and process much less. There's actually a couple of photos of it. There's something definitely glowing up there on them fucking mountains. Interesting shit.
Always aliens.
Always aliens. All right. Home security camera records a fairy visiting London, England. This report took place back in 2013, but was reported today. Look closely at the objects that were caught on an outside home security camera, and you will notice a strange resemblance to a fairy. Could they be alien species visiting this planet? Yes, most likely. Just because it's a fairy, it's an alien? Anyway. Yes, most likely. Stories of fairies existed for hundreds of years. For a story to last so long, some truth has to be in it. Humanity only knows a small percent of the life that exists on our planet. And this could be a species that has visited often and that stories of the little flying people have spared far and wide. Okay, so he just says right there that we don't know most of the life that exists on our own planet. Okay, so it could fucking be something that's from this planet. It doesn't necessarily make it an alien. There could be alien fairies. I'm not saying this fairy isn't an alien and shit, but why everything with this dude is it's out of the ordinary. He's like, oh, that's an alien. It came from another planet. What if it's a fucking fairy from this planet? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be fairies on fucking Mars and then other planets and shit. Why can't we have fairies here that were from this planet? Maybe they fucking went to Mars too. They left here and they went there and they come back. You know?
Anything
Yeah, they
a
got
lot of
wings and
fairies
stuff.
stories. They usually come from a person who was recently near a quote unquote fairy circle. Which, if anybody knows what a fairy circle is, it's where a patch of mushrooms grow, but it's in a circle. You usually find them. You stand in the middle, and there's usually a ring of mushrooms around you and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So people usually eat the mushrooms in the fairy circle, and then they see fairies.
That'd be a good time to see fairies.
I think that's it for the news this week, folks.
All right, folks. That's it for the news. This time we're going to take a break. Give you a chance to go roll something, smoke something, hit the head, get something to drink, do whatever you do. I'll put up a little thing, put the number up on the screen, give you a chance if you want to call in, be a part of the show later. We'll be taking calls. You want to talk about what we're talking about? We're talking about severe weather. We're definitely in the middle of it, although it's not that severe right now. But we're going to be talking about it. So don't go too far, all right? We'll be back. It's Paranormal Hood. You know how we do.
We'll be right back on Paranormal Hood.
One back and forth. The one most sacred prayer we share is air. Breathe, become more aware. Compliments in opposite pairs. I'm ascending up them spiral stairs. Now we bring the fire. Chant a song, but there's a last thing I hear me prayer. Now we bring the fire. Lightning, brimstone, Emmanuel, Marcus, Mosiah. And one with everything. I'm another you. Another me in synchronicity, we're spiritual beings expressing physically, said all is energy, connectivity, at one with everything. I'm another you and you're another me in synchronicity, we're spiritual beings expressing physically, said all is energy.
Start to build like an architect, and when the lines start show, see it all connect. And I would all respect to keep it all in check and see through the times all the signs are left. Start to see it connect like meridians. Whole world waging the war like the Gideon. Only see as far as the walls that to living in. We all one where the Reuben and Simeon, Abyssinian touching the Caribbean. The same blood become the West Indian. Without each other we're not too resilient. Tossed to the wolves and lost in oblivion. All about the oneness, love and abundance. Life in the heights, most I gonna run this. Keep it 100, life needs substance. Must give something, that's what love is. Yet they wanna say that John and I and Cosmos watch out for the fallen skies. We only watch out for the watchful eyes who wanna harm I and not harmonize.
Now we bring the fire. Chant a song, but there's a last thing I hear me prayer. Now we bring the fire. Lightning, brimstone, Emmanuel, Marcus, Mosiah. And one with everything. I'm another you, and you're another me. In synchronicity, we're spiritual beings, expressing physically. Said all is energy, connectivity, at one with everything. I'm another you,
We are the paranormal voice of the hood.
Close your eyes. Take my hand. Let's go on a ride. You'll be surprised. Open your mind. I need you to heal. I want you to heal. Let me help you heal. I'm here to help you heal. Love will make you heal. Heal, heal. Reconnect with who you are. Matter made from perfect stars. That's you. Reconnect with who you are. Matter made from perfect stars. Close your eyes. Take my hand. Let's go on a ride. You'll be surprised. Open your mind.
Is you ready? Let's go to the place where lovers go. You ain't gotta be involved, just in love with yourself, in love with the flow. Love life. You seeing geometric patterns to the scanner. About to let you in, better breathe, don't panic. Call me Mr. Deems, I specialize in healing. I'ma give you what you need. Probably cry, you probably laugh. Be like, what the fuck when I show you that advanced math.
Cause I need you to heal. I want you to heal. Let me help you heal. I'm here to help you heal. Love will make you heal. Heal, heal. Reconnect with who you are. Matter made from perfect stars. That's you. Reconnect with who you are. Matter made from perfect stars. I'm here to help you heal. Love will make you heal. Heal, heal. Close your eyes. Take my hand. Let's go on a ride. You'll be surprised. Open your mind.
They don't wanna give me shows, they don't wanna see me. That's alright. I'm working on this magic, I'm a motherfucking genie. Floating on this rug, roasting this bud, everything kung fu, I'm a magi. Come through when I'm that high. Always got a couple fungi, what I'm talking about. I got a whole tub full of mushrooms, I think I'm a shaman. You ain't 18 grams, yeah, why you scared what you doing? Why you playing with yourself, stop playing with yourself. Dive in, go hard, what your heart beating for? Think you gon' drift too far? Need to surrender, bar. I'm a high as shit, fly under clouds. Mind equipped, I go round for round, bar for bar, need all them. Ballin' y'all like Spartan, like who the hell done let the God in? I got cappy vines in my garden, gold all on my pathway. Spit it like it's venom, let the mind spray. Libations, I'ma pour 'em out. For my goon goon one time. Libations, I'ma pour 'em out. For my goon goon 2 times. Libations, I'ma pour 'em out. For my goon goon 3 times. Don't trip, the ancestors got you. Don't trip, stay true, they gon' follow through. Don't trip. I met them in the dark room. Don't trip. They told me in the mushroom. Don't trip. The ancestors got you. Don't trip. Stay true, they gon' follow through. Don't trip. I met them in the dark room. Don't trip. They told me in the mushroom. I'm a motherfucking guru. Cook it top shaman noodle. Put a curse on you, I do voodoo. Naga don't come from my family. Revive my whole tribe gon' ride. Portal open, I'm gon' slide. DMT, I'm gon' ride. Probably think I'm out my mind. Really, I don't give a fuck. If you want what I'm on, you should levitate. You be lying, man, you hella fake. I ain't judging, but you lying, need to meditate. Really, I don't give a fuck. If you want what I'm on, you should levitate. You be lying, man, you hella fake. I ain't judging, but you lying, need to meditate. People think cause I'm conscious, I ain't got no fucking problems. Naga ain't nothing changed. Blame it all on retrograde. Psychedelic hip hop. Really I make that. Try not to speak from my ego, but I'm flyer than an eagle. High as hell like seagull shit. Try not to cuss, but I'm the shit. Hell yeah, I love myself. The big homie told me he love myself. I got a rose quartz, I got some citrine. I think I need a grounding star. Don't trip, the ancestors got you. Don't trip, stay true, they gon' follow through. Don't trip, I met them in the dark room. Don't trip, they told me in the mushroom. Don't trip, the ancestors got you. Don't trip, stay true, they gon' follow through. Don't trip, I met them in the dark room. Don't trip, they told me in the mushroom.
Rock the Minute. You're listening to Paranormal Radio. Guru, 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 guru.
They want that dope man, so here we go, you got me open. Anything that I ingest in through the mind, go out through the iris. Reality get time bent. You wanna go where I went? I can still feel heat from the black top burning off unseen memories. Got me lit like a matchbox. Really, I was in a room with a pen and a pad, tripping on shrooms. Seeing how the mind do when it's trapped in the cube. You know how I go when it's back to the root. That shit feel. Motherfucker, I'm. Yeah, don't get shit twisted. See, I still get enough wetness from the rainfall to inject every section. Resurrect every blessing of the pain. My connection is collective, universe on my inside. Come and ride with the wind one time. I will never die, why pretend? Tripping me, dripping out my eye. Yeah, that blank mind state is a womb. I gather the spectrum and vibrate the color. Kundalini up out the gutter. What up? Listen to the word that I utter, motherfucker, I ain't.
I slipped off in that fifth, cause that fourth was getting too lonely. Now my squad better get a better grip, cause this world can no longer hold me. You can feel the paradigm shift, even when I'm vibrating slowly. Now I'm moving all in, got my back at the wind, and I'm pissed, so don't try to console me. First move I had to make was shake all the fake, forget everything they told me. I'm a god from within, not born in the sin, so why the hell can't I be holy? Everything they've done from the purpose of the sun was attempt to try to control me. Throw it back in their face, get back in my place as an infinite soul just roaming. Infinite soul like Roman, floating in a space more open than my mind can imagine. Till my inner eye gets focused, till my enemy is ferocious, giving up energy and symmetry to split and crash these oceans, waking you up from this hypnosis that got you paranoid. Watching that time swing, so I'm here to fill that void and make that mind blink Sophisticated savage, still pumping out these classics through these frequencies. We blasting, changing the mind of all the masses. Let's go.
But they want that dope man. They want that mistletoe, man. So watch me deliver the present like the future's hopeless. I'm rapping all these worlds. Come step into my realm. I raise my conscience just to silence all the bleeding lamps. No past, no future. I'm now, right now, I'm killing time. Trailblazing the infinite by lighting the wick in the spine. My mind became. Tell your mama, Shit, and can't you tell? We won't fail, cause within this shell, there's power within every cell. Yeah, y'all got them bars, but I got them keys to open every cell. Riding through my stargate, cause the cosmos where I partake in the mastery of my fate got me blazing kundalini. Watch me vibrate to the frequency of freedom, just the freedom from religion, giving us a reason to be.
Yo, what's up, guys and goddesses? It's your favorite mirror, the Supremes of the Ohio Valley, and you listening to Paranormal Hood Radio.
Yo, this is a higher dimension, they better get with it. I turn all them circles to helixes. I turn all them ashes to phoenixes. Lay waste to the factors who pack in compassion, cause without the action it's meaningless. Fuck it, I'm back on my feet again. After the battle was having compassion and passion and knowing the frequency. But recently, I'm frequently feeling the fire that set fire to deities. Reset your memory, then we wet the fire that burn and circle your block with my chemistry. Watch how the infinite breathe, this how the infinite be. Off in that infinite sea, infinitely. Striding through waters too deep for these keys to believe that it's God that they see. Spirit combined with the thought, raising the heart to the eye through the spine. Mixed with this art, hyperdimensional. Soon as I enter you, emulate all of my mind. Eradicate time, quoting the place that make everything I. Everything live, everything die. Everything's everything, quarrel and spine. Tethering mind, crystallized eye, imploding the God that you thought was divine. Jesus alive, Jesus Allah. Allah's the moon, moon is the sin. There is no sin in you, you are no sinner, and there is no death if you only remember. Astrotheology, mapping what happened in time from the stars, ripping the heart from the archons, balancing animals. Gotta be part of the way I dismantle the truth, counter the lies, reverse the inverted mind. Insert my power, I'm outside the hour of time. Accessing all my collapse and was trapped in the mind, easing the climb. So the ascension is something you witness through all of the victims and all of the prisons and all of the wisdom that's outside the system. All that I'm giving, I give it. You better get with it, cause this is a higher dimension. This is a higher dimension, higher dimension, yeah. Dimension. This is a higher dimension, higher dimension, yeah. Higher dimension, this is a higher dimension. They better get with it. I turn all them circles to helixes. I turn all them ashes to phoenixes. Cause this is a higher dimension. This is a higher dimension, higher dimension, yeah. Higher dimension. This is a higher dimension, higher dimension, yeah. Higher dimension. This is a higher dimension. They better get with it. I turn all them circles to helixes. Yeah, I turn all them ashes to phoenixes. Cause this is a higher dimension.
This is a higher dimension, powered by self-comprehension. Climbing up out of this prison, I am so out of this prism. There's no confining my mental, I feel like gathering time, wrapping it up in this rhyme, freeing up everything binding. You see what the rhyme do, casting the bliss like a spell from a witch. Do you look in the mirror and realize that I am you? We are supreme in the valley of giants and tyrants and lions and sirens and Nephilim. So why would you question them? You can apply all the pressure you want and you just gon' make diamonds and shine for the rest of them. Fire and light, water and ice, full spectrum when we on the mic, sending you infinite energy, synchronized synergy. So you see the inner me, so you see it visibly. I show you the secrets and point to the enemy. I feel like gathering truth, spilling it all in this booth, breaking up out of this noose, bringing you up on this paradigm. The shit that we spit at you, therapy, rejuvenation, reversal of time, raising you up through the spine. Organs aligned, controlling the planets combined with knowing that we are divine, causing implosion without the division, reprogramming minds that lost high in the system. All that we give it, you better get with it, cause this is a higher dimension.
This is a higher dimension, higher dimension, yeah. Higher dimension, this is a higher dimension, higher dimension, yeah. Higher dimension, this is a higher dimension. They better get with it. I turn on them circles and helixes. I turn on them phoenixes. Cause this is a higher dimension. This is a higher dimension. Higher dimension. Higher dimension. This is a higher dimension. Higher dimension. Higher dimension. This is a higher dimension. They better get with it. I turn all them circles to helixes. I turn all them ashes to phoenixes. Cause this is a higher dimension.
It's my theme music. Every good hero should have some.
False education by manipulation. Vividly from my perspective, I see time is vacant. Or is it from your perspective? I am out of space discussing possibilities with entities in a higher race. I tried dying, I was brought back through time and space. I tried flying, I was brought back to that human race. Brought back to that night and day worst time zones. Mind's blown, you ain't sitting in my zone, cause we stay tripping off them trichomes. If I pull up, they know I'm on, I'm in my triple threat. My soul is like a window tinted, they can't see me yet. I am on my 3013 trying to spread that love, trying to unify that consciousness. But they say it's from the rock. You know it was the rock. They'll blame it on the They'll say it was the You know it was the They'll blame it on the This is reefer madness, we broke through that gateway. This shit feel like purgatory, we somewhere in deep space. Pill popping animal, Ciroc sipping nigga, fucking zombie in the mirror, snapping Instagram pictures. Where's Molly? Never met her, but I'm trying to get familiar. All I heard was good things, all my niggas hit her, I ain't trying to fall in love. Me and Mary J been kicking this since pimpin' been pimpin'. She still pushes my limits, I'm feeling as if I'm different. We all know I'm that same nigga, fighting the addiction, biting into your prescriptions. Fight getting for dinner and it's doing what it does. The same people that think I'm crazy will praise me when I tell them it was the rock. Said it was the rock. You know it was the They'll blame it on the They'll say it was the You know it was the They'll blame it on the No killer, I will never die. Life is an immortal, is a different high. The view from where I'm sitting got them pissed off, wishing to envision my simplest comprehension. See, this love is all I know, got me shifting through dimensions. Tell me you don't get high, I say this drugs have been a chicken. Poison in your prescriptions, venomous politicians, numerous contradictions. Am I pimping or am I living? Damn, I'm tripping. Man, I gotta be insane. If sanity was an option, then I wouldn't have a brain. Destruction is why I came to live it through this cocaine. So when the shit goes up in flames, they'll have something they can blame. It was the Said it was the You know it was the They'll blame it on the They'll say it was the You know it was the They'll blame it on the
What's up, paranormal junkies? Willie Michael here. And when I'm not teaching people how to raise their consciousness, I'm tuned in to ParanormalHooD Radio. Namaste.
What up, guys? It's Wiz, and welcome to ParanormalHooD Live.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
What's up, folks? Welcome back. This is Paranormal Hood Live. We're live and direct in the God of Knowledge Studios. I'm your host, Panda Jiggy.
I'm Smoke King.
Metaphor here.
Hi, Smoke Queen. You know, wave hi. We're back. The break is over. We're ready to have a show. We're ready to talk. You ready to talk? Again, anybody who's just, excuse me, I'm making a little bit of noise here, tuning in a little bit late. If you want, head over to YouTube. If you're not watching and listening on YouTube, the chat on YouTube is always very active. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Bruce Willis, Robeg, Jasmine, who's literally going to get an MRI, so send her some peace and love and some healing, positive vibes.
Back.
Jay.
She just said she was back.
Oh, she's back? I'm sorry. I'm trying to, I'm scrolling. Well, she's back. Well, I'm glad she's back. Rob, Kelly. Did I forget anybody? Did anybody I didn't see? Reese's Pieces is up in there. David Reynolds. Anybody else? If I didn't see you, I'm sorry. Say hi. Raphael. We're rocking out. What do you say?
She must be in California. Who gets an MRI? You know, on the East Coast, we ain't get an MRI at 9 o'clock at night in the East.
Right, shit. You got some good healthcare shit. Yeah, I mean, they'll give you an emergency MRI at late if they have to.
Yeah, like an emergency.
Yeah. Well, if she's in the hospital, it might be an emergency. I'm just saying. But yeah, so we're rocking out, folks. And trust me, tonight we're talking about severe weather. And man, we were supposed to get our asses just a little kicked, but it was like a dusting. How'd that nor'easter work out for us over here?
They never said we were going to have a nor'easter. I don't know why everybody's saying that. Yeah. Never did they ever say that it was going to be a nor'easter. They said it was possible nor'easter.
The nor'easter?
Yeah, this one they didn't say it was going to be a nor'easter. They never said here it was going to be a nor'easter. It was a nor'easter because as nor'easter as any storm in the northeast. New York got hit and stuff. And some places got hit, but Boston didn't get hit. They were part of it, so we didn't get any of it. And they said that the whole time, that Boston could get hit. Boston might not get anything. And the way the storm wobbled back and forth, we didn't get anything.
Yeah, well, of course everybody panicked. It's the fourth nor'easter. We're going to get hit and we're going to get this. First it started with 12 inches. Then it got down to 6. Then it got down to maybe possibly 5. And then it's going to come. And it's going to start snowing. And the funny thing was, I watched that storm. And I was like, it's like 4 o'clock. It's snowing in Bridgewater, which is what, like 30 miles away from us? 40 miles away from us? And it's like, it's snowing there. So it's going to get here any hour now. It's 4. I'll get here at 5. You get here at 6. You get here at 7. You get home like 11. It's going to get here at 11. Then you watch the news. It's going to get here at 2 o'clock in the morning. Then it's going to snow all night. And you're watching all this shit. And then you wake up. You look out the window. And your windows on your car have like a little bit of snow, and you're like, where the fuck is all this snow this time? Well, it's still coming. And then you got the people, I love the Facebook people who are like, yeah, here's the snow, it's coming now, it's here. All you people who doubted it, well, yeah, the snow came and it was like, poof, it was a dusting. I mean, I'm not complaining, shit. I didn't have to shovel, didn't have to do all that bullshit, but it's just like all the hype and stuff that surrounds this weather and stuff we have. And a lot of people, let me just preface this, some of the people say, well, it's natural, weather happens the way it happens and stuff. Why would anybody want to do anything to control weather? And we're definitely going to be talking about that tonight. But I'm just going to say, if you watch the madness, as somebody during the day who delivers groceries and shops and does all this stuff and everything, and see the shit that you see in these stores when they talk about snow and stuff. Now, mind you, these are New Englanders. These are seasoned veterans. You figure these fucking people would get it and stuff. But there's like certain stores, like a store called Market Basket. And anybody from around who knows anything about Market Basket, and it has nothing to do with the people in the store, the fact that they're ethnic, and mostly because I'm ethnic too, and I don't give a fuck about all that. But the nickname for that place is the Zoo, and there is a reason why. One, is one of the very few places you can shop that doesn't have one of them fucking price cards that track everything you fucking do. So their prices are pretty, reasonable. They just price their stuff out, so you don't really have to worry about fucking sales and shit all the time and using a card when you get to the scanner. So you figure you could just get in and out this motherfucker. But yeah, when they say snow, or they say anything that would count as severe weather, this is a perfect example of a place where people just lose their fucking minds. And there will be lines from the front end of the store to the back end of the store with every register open. And this is not I am not exaggerating. Am I exaggerating? You've seen it. No. I'm not exaggerating.
No, when we say every register, the store has 35 registers in it. And then they have these extra registers that they wheel out on carts and shit. And it still isn't enough.
And this is for people, again, who year
It's
after
not
year,
just one market basket.
Yeah.
It's all the market baskets in the area. Any market basket you go to, it's like this. They have, like, it's just insane.
And mind you, our area is saturated with fucking grocery stores now. Wegmans, Stop and Shops and shit. There's plenty, and they're all pretty much in the Suffolk kind of Wegmans. Look pretty much the same in Stop and Shop, and it's a little bit big. But, I mean, these people just lose their fucking minds like they've never, ever heard of the word snow before. They close schools at the drop of a hat. Man, listen, I know people always talk about that back in the day shit. Like, older folks always talk about that back in the day shit. But when we talk about the back in the day shit, because we're not exaggerating, when motherfuckers who had to trudge through snow, they wasn't calling school for 5 inches of snow. You were lucky if they were calling school for a fucking blizzard or a nor'easter was coming. They were like, well, send them to school and they'll call a half day. And your ass, if you was going to school and didn't have bus transportation and mama didn't have a car, mama was at work and no one was picking you up, your ass was trudging home through the snow. They wasn't worried about your ass. There was no search parties and shit. You got home when you got the fuck home because your ass was trudging through snow. They did not give a fuck. Am I lying? Anybody else remember those days?
I remember.
They didn't give a fuck. Now these motherfuckers say 4 inches of snow, 5 inches of snow. It's like you live in Atlanta, someplace that doesn't see snow. They shut shit down. These kids are sitting at home and they love it. Oh, cool, I get a day off. But these motherfuckers don't realize y'all gonna be going to school till fucking July. So good luck with that shit too. It doesn't really pay off in the summer when it's warm and your ass is still in school making up for snow days and shit that weren't even snow days. And these motherfuckers is towing cars, and it is big business. If you think that shit does not affect how they talk about the economy and how people are spending money, yeah, because people are spending money because they're fucking panicking for shit they don't need to panic over. Snow. They go out and buy a bunch of shit that, one, if you lose your power, you're buying a bunch of perishable food. That if you lose your fucking power, it's going to be useless if your power is gone for a few days.
No, it doesn't.
If the temperature, well, if the temperature goes up, if the temperature goes up in the interim after that snow, which it does around here a lot, it's about to be 50 fucking degrees in a couple of days. The temperature goes up. That food is no good to you if you don't have power for a few days, because there's still people recovering from power from last storms and shit who don't have power. I'm just saying, you know that it's big business. You know what's behind it. So people who think that there's no business behind fucking manipulating weather and stuff will definitely be getting more into that. But trust me, I see the effects of it. These fucking people. Excuse me as I hit this little blunt. I'm just saying.
Jasmine, that's funny.
I didn't see what you said.
Because she homeschools her kids, so they were mad yesterday. They were still learning during the storm. Yeah, me and my son, we went outside, we played in the snow and everything today, but he's still learning all day, every day. You don't get no days off.
There was no sitting.
I was teaching him something.
If you was in the house, you was reading a book, you might get to watch a little TV and stuff, but you were reading books or you were going out in the snow. And first of all, shit. My ass was out in the snow making money.
See, back in the day, when it snowed and shit, we would lose power and shit back in the day. You don't lose power nowadays and shit. Fucking everything's connected to everything. So if a fucking, a couple houses lose it, not everybody loses it because fucking power's coming in from every direction. Yeah. So fucking wires come down for one house. Not
I didn't care anyways, man. I was out that fucking
takes
snow
a lot,
making
especially
money.
Living in the city for city areas. The people that go without power in these storms and stuff, they're living in fucking towns and stuff, and they're not, they're not in cities like we are and everything like that. They're not, the space between the houses and shit, some places, neighbors down the street a little ways and shit. So yeah, they're losing power. When they lose power to the one main thing coming into that section of the town and shit, yeah, that whole entire fucking area and neighborhood and shit's gonna go out. Around here, you don't have to worry about that. Your neighbor could not have power, but you might still have power because your power's coming in from this way and their power's coming in from that way.
Right. But I'm just saying too, if there's so we've had like back to back, we've had a storm almost once a week for the past few weeks, right? If you shop every time that there's a storm,
but that's the thing. See, I noticed this one thing too. All right.
That's a lot of food.
Right, that's a whole lot of fucking food. Like, where are you putting all that
We do this
shit?
all the time. We shop all the time. You got to look at this. These stores are crazy like this pretty much all the time, especially Market Basket. Market Baskets and Stop and Shops are always crazy. It's the people, they are crazy when the storms come, but that's the people that aren't normally going out shopping and stuff all the time. They're like, oh, fuck, there's a storm, shit. Let me go and get some shit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can tell there's the people that are in there that doing their regular fucking shopping and shit. And you can tell the people that are just like, oh, fuck, maybe let me get a couple of things because I'm not going to be able to go out to fucking eat for the next day or so. You know what I mean? Because that's what they're doing is they go out and eat all the time. So there's nothing in their house and shit like that. So they got to fucking run to the store and stuff like that. But then you have all the other crazy people that are just at Market Basket all the fucking time. There's just so many fucking people. Like, no storm's coming, nothing. It could be a beautiful fucking day out. The Market Basket is just fucking packed with people from the time it opens until the time it closes. A lot of the Stop and Shops are like that too. Not every one, but a lot of them are. And I've noticed that, and it's getting worse and worse and worse like that. Because I've been shopping for in store. You know what I mean? I do it for a living. I shop for people for a living and shit. And you can just see it in stores on a regular basis. Not just because there's a storm. The shelves are empty. Where the fuck is all this? What the fuck are people doing with all this food and shit? Not that I really care, because most of the shit I don't fucking eat anyway. So y'all want to eat that shit, go for it. But a lot of shit is fucking, it's out in a lot of stores and shit, and it's fucking crazy. What's gonna happen when something really fucking happens, and when we do get a fucking really bad fucking storm and it snows for fucking 4 days straight? You know what I mean? We think that we get bad, extreme fucking storms here and shit. This is nothing. Look at the places, look at around like Buffalo and upstate New York and shit, and around the Great Lakes where it can snow 5 feet in 2 days. And people around here, like, oh no, the fucking nor'easter coming, we're gonna get a foot of snow. Oh no, even if we get fucking 2 feet of snow, oh fuck. I laugh at this shit when fucking we get storms around here. I dream of getting 5 feet of fucking snow. I would love to get 5 feet of snow in 2 days here. That would be so fucking awesome. I'd have a huge fucking tunnel system. I'd just build a huge fucking tunnel system going all over the fucking place and shit. It'd be fucking great. I have a badass snowblower. I'd be fucking throwing snow over my roof.
We can take the igloo and expand it, make some shit like from like the fucking.
Yeah, I'd make igloos and shit, smoke them out. I would seriously, I would bring the fucking cameras and shit outside. I would take all these cameras outside into the igloo. We'd do a fucking smoke session in a fucking igloo.
Yeah, we made a dope igloo during the fucking blizzard a few years ago.
So I mean, what people call severe weather here, it's not severe. You gotta, go live in Siberia. Go live in fucking parts of Canada or Alaska and shit. That's fucking severe weather and stuff.
No doubt. And now
I laugh at shit around here.
In talking about severe weather, there's different things we'll be talking about. Obviously, there's tornadoes, there's hurricanes, droughts, fires. There's so many different things you talk about severe weather. Again, the stuff, anybody who lives here, even Meta at this point, I mean, you figured out how to maneuver during all this snow and shit because you just have to. Like, life goes on. You know, it's weird that, you know, for some people, they're able to shut shit down, though, because you still notice the effects of it, that all of a sudden they're calling jobs, they're calling all this stuff, and the effect of it is weird. Like, you know, you're like, cool, there's no fucking traffic. But like, how do all these motherfuckers just get to stay home because someone told you there's going to be a storm? Like, you didn't think to go test the waters and shit to, like, well, you know, go to work and we'll figure it out as the day progresses. There ain't no fucking snow. That's how they kind of used to call school and everything else. They kind of winged it. Like, you know, by the morning, well, wait a minute, there's too much snow, and maybe, you know, we look out the window. All right, call school. You about to go out the door, but you watch the news and shit like. All right, cool. Word. Yes.
Either that, you're watching the news and you can still see the bus coming, but you're still watching the news. You see the shit coming. All your friends are getting on the fucking bus down the block, and you're like, I know they're gonna call that shit any fucking time now.
You don't want to get on that bus. Fuck. That one's gonna take you all the way to school.
You're gonna run the fuck out and get
Oh
on the
my
bus.
god.
Now these motherfuckers is like 2 days before school's gonna be closed for the next 2 or 3 days because they said there's gonna be snow. These motherfuckers are lucky. And you used to have to watch the news and they have to scroll through your town. You better hope you lived in a town like Boston and shit. If you lived in motherfucking like, what's at the bottom of that
dude,
list?
you don't even have to watch the fucking TV to know that your school's canceled now. I don't even know why they show that shit, because everybody gets a text and fucking email and shit like that. They have the fucking random calls your house. That fucking automated thing, and a call to every single student's house. As soon as they call it, boom. They just press a button and like, doop, and it texts and fucking emails and does everything all automatically.
And the irony is, all these people who complain about all this snow, this little bit of snow, this summer when it's hot, and we complain about how fucking hot it is. Oh, it's so fucking hot. I hate this fucking heat. Yeah, blah blah blah. What the fuck do you want? Like, listen. You come to the territory, you just learn how to deal with it. This is not severe weather. It's just snow. We live in New England all these years and stuff. There's been blizzards and stuff. I'm just like, fuck it, you make the best of it. You should be prepared anyways, and prepared in the sense that you don't have to run out to the fucking store and lose your mind. And if you go to the store and there's no whatever little incidentals, you're not going to fucking be that affected. I mean, that's the way I prepare. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not fucking running to the store like, oh my God, I got to get everything. I'm good.
No, same fucking blizzard of 78 and shit, you know, where it's gonna snow. Even in places, like I said, in Buffalo, they don't fucking run out all to the stores and shit. They already know. They're prepared and shit like that. You should be prepared and have food in your house and stuff anyway. It's their own people's fault. You know what I mean? And then the other thing, people complaining about the weather. Well, look where you live. You don't like the weather where you live, do something about it. That's it. Any situation in life, you can do three things. You can accept it, you can change it, or you can let it go. So there you go. That's it. So accept the weather, which I've done. I fucking love New England because we have all 4 seasons. Sometimes the seasons extend to the other ones. Sometimes they start a little earlier.
Sometimes we get all 4 seasons in one day.
Sometimes you get all 4 seasons in one day, or all in one week.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking magical place. Who the fuck would complain about that shit? It's fucking magical. It's fucking magical. Like, seriously. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I think about, and me and the Queen here, we talk about fucking, oh, let's move to California and stuff, like San Diego or something. But that's not magical and shit. Like, you wake up every day and you go outside, it's the same thing. That's fucking boring as shit. That's boring as shit. Same fucking thing every day, every single day. I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
But then, but think about the irony too, right? Okay, so then you do have the means. You up and move, and then you're gonna move to, let's say, you go to Florida.
I love Florida too, though.
Florida's a
I
great
lived in Florida, and I lived through hurricanes
nice,
and shit down there, and it's fucking awesome. Even hurricanes.
But again,
up there.
exactly. Then you're different with a whole different animal. You go into a place all of a sudden. I mean, we deal with little small. We deal with the remnants of hurricanes.
We've had some good. We've had some good
we've
hurricanes
had some,
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some good hurricanes in here, but you know, I mean, down in it's different territory down in Florida and stuff. We can have the same strength hurricane up here, but it doesn't do what it does down in Florida. Florida is fucking flat. It just plows across the fucking state of Florida. It's just boom. But as it gets up here, where it has to deal with mountains and we have all these hills and shit like that, it loses a lot of it. Even though the storm's strength is really fucking intense, it's not as noticeable as it is. It doesn't do quite as much as damage and shit as what it does in Florida, because those winds just go straight across that shit. Where here, the winds are going all over these fucking hills and shit and all around and stuff, so they can't do the damage that it does. It will damage it and stuff like that. So it's all in the areas where you're at and shit. But I take any weather I am where it is, and I love it. I love it. I go out in the middle of a hurricane. I'll go out in the middle of a blizzard. I mean, people will follow us on fucking social media and shit, and even on YouTube here. If you go back, I think I have some old videos, although I don't know, might have taken them down and made it private, of me just driving around in blizzards and shit. Like legit fucking blizzard.
Oh
you can barely see past my hood and shit. And I'm fucking driving around, having a grand old time.
Hell yeah.
I ain't worried about it. I know how to drive in snow. I've been doing it fucking pretty much my whole life and everything. You know what you're doing and everything, and I can be in any car. Then people like, you know, some people like, oh, you got a 4-wheel drive, an all-wheel drive Jeep.
I drive
like
a
that
Honda Fit in this fucking snow and shit.
It don't matter.
Yo, people
my
be
first
bugging.
car was a
5 speed.
Nova.
It's 5 speed, so you know it makes all the difference too. People be bugging in the snow, and I'm whipping past them in my little fucking Fit. Yeah, Jiggy's
the only
big
thing you
ass
gotta
fits
worry
in the
about
Fit.
that is once we do get that foot of snow,
I know.
your car can't plow.
Yeah, I ain't plowing some shit. Yeah.
Once it's too heavy to push that snow out of its way,
yeah.
You can't do anything. But yeah, my first car I started driving with was a 75 Nova. That was a fucking badass car. I mean, I would go in sideways around every corner, even if it wasn't snow. So you could drive in snow and shit. So you got all kinds of crazy weather everywhere and shit. Like people, you know, people will live where there's tornadoes and shit. They either deal with it or they move.
Huh? I mean, shit.
You know, nowadays with
we've had tornadoes here. Shit.
Yeah, fuck.
I lived through the tornado that fucking came through fucking Worcester.
In Florida, I've seen tornadoes in here.
I told you, that fucking tornado, I was outside. I don't even know if I was on Facebook back then or if I was, maybe the post would show up, but I was sitting on my fucking porch. I had something to drink, and I was smoking some weed. Motherfucker said, why are you sitting out there? I was like, listen, if I sit in the house, I'm not going in the fucking basement to get trapped in the basement. If the house collapses, whatever happens is going to happen. I'm going to watch this motherfucker. I'd rather see this shit. I'm going to be like fucking Dorothy out there looking at me.
You know what? I know which tornado you fucking talking about. You know, she ain't. She's talking. Yeah. Fucking, we knew we were listening to the weather and shit. We were driving around smoking. We were like, well, fuck it, let's go up to the airport. So we went up to the Worcester Airport, you know, where you can sit at the end of the runway and fucking chill and smoke. And this was pre 9/11 shit, fucking whatever, right around. So they didn't fucking harass us. Now we can't even go there and shit. It's bullshit. So we're sitting there and it's fucking getting pretty bad. It's getting windy and shit. And we're like, all right, let's drive towards the fucking storm. We drove towards the fucking shit, dude. And as we're driving, it started to get crazy and crazy. Fucking rain was coming in fucking sideways and shit. Like, it wasn't coming down. It was just going this way and shit. Lightning. The car got struck by lightning. It was, oh, yeah. We fucking, like, there was so much. We were going up a hill, and there's so much water coming down and shit that we couldn't even fucking drive or anything. I think we were like 3 or 4 miles away from where it hit because it went through Ocam and shit like that. We were right through there. Ocam and up that way. So I remember that shit too. But we did back then, but now not everybody had cameras or anything like that or anything. So
it's like fuck it. I ain't running from the shit. It's like you see some shit, I
I
want to see the shit.
Severe weather.
Not at all. Again, they've had the hurricanes that have hit here and stuff, and I've driven along the coast and I had SUVs and gone to see shit like whatever. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna
during hurricanes, we're like, oh, don't go near the ocean. We drive down to the fucking beach and shit. That's the fucking greatest time.
Fucking waves coming up and you see that
waves
shit and everything.
Going crazy. You can just make sure you wear like goggles and shit because that sand whipping across the beach and shit is fucking, you know.
Watch out for rocks.
Don't drive a car that you don't want fucking to lose its fucking. It's clear coat either. That shit is like a fucking sandblaster.
Oh my god.
It is
the shit out of your fucking car.
Oh yes, it is. No doubt. Yeah. So yeah, there's some things that we deal with. So don't think we don't deal with severe weather. We do, but ours is just a little bit different.
Yeah, it's just it's different everywhere you go. But what people around here think is severe and bad weather is not nothing.
even our earthquakes, like we've had minor earthquakes here. I felt both of them. I was like on social media immediately because I was on the fucking throne. The first earthquake, I was on the throne. I was like, yo, why the fuck is the shower and everything like fucking moving? I'm like, am I fucking bugging? I wasn't smoking weed. I wasn't high right there. I was like, yo, what the fuck? I mean, it ain't that bad. Damn, did I fucking blow up the fucking...
All right.
But I'm like earthquakes, so we don't even hear about minor earthquakes all the time. Buddy Greenberg, welcome. Sorry, folks, we had to greet our friend stepping into the studio.
Shut.
That's something bad. Peace, brother. You can wear the panda head, see him sit on camera. He's like, you know what, the panda head? Panda.
Sorry about that, folks watching YouTube. I don't know why OBS just disconnected itself, but it should be back. You should be able to see us again.
It's the ghost in the machine.
So yeah, that's the great thing about New England. We have earthquakes, we have tornadoes, we have fucking blizzards, we have hurricanes, we have heat waves. We get it all here, and it's fucking great. You know, I mean, it's not the extreme like 5 feet in a blizzard and shit. The hurricanes, like I said, they're not as strong here and stuff. The tornadoes aren't fucking. They're not huge tornadoes, crazy tornadoes. Again, because we have hills and shit. Tornadoes can't get going usually that very far and shit with all the hills around. So. You got extreme weather, but there's extreme weather all over this fucking country and shit, and the weather is getting more extreme. It is getting fucking crazy, and I can tell you this because I'm a weather person, and I've been watching the weather since I was a kid and paying attention to the weather, and I can tell even without watching the weather and shit, trying to get fucking people who know me and shit. Normally, ask the queen here and shit. Normally, I'd be getting the snowblower going and shit and everything. I knew it wasn't gonna be that big or anything. I wasn't worried about it, nothing. I didn't even get the snow brush ready for her in the morning and shit. I knew she was, you know, nothing had to worry and shit. But I've seen the patterns, and you can see it when back in the day when I was younger and stuff. And they're like, oh, there's a storm coming and stuff. It'd be a little storm coming up the coast, okay? Now they're like, a storm's coming, and this storm can stretch from fucking the Gulf of Mexico be raining in Texas and shit, and the same storm is all the way up, raining up here, all through fucking California, Carolinas, everything, all the way the fuck up here to New England and in Maine and shit. And it's the same one storm. These fucking storms are massive. And there's something definitely going on with the weather and shit, whether it's fucking global warming or somebody's manipulating the weather and shit and doing this stuff. Like, look at the size of the hurricanes and shit now. Look at all these storms and stuff. Look at the patterns of the weather everywhere. Some places it's fucking dry and shit. Some places where it shouldn't be and stuff. It's
El Nino, La Nina, El Negro.
I mean, now, is it that, or is it fucking something else? Are they just blaming that on these things? Are those real things? Is it made up? So, let's get into this shit.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Is it fake? Is it fake? Who's manipulating? How are they manipulating? What are their tools? We've talked about HARP. But HARP doesn't exist anymore, right? Isn't some college working HARP?
Alright, so, alright, we want to start with HARP and stuff. Here, let me pass this over that way. Let me do that so I can do some reading. Alright, so we can do a little bit on HARP. Here.
HAARP.
I got it. I'm right on their website.
Not
right
AARP. I knew you was gonna go there.
Alright.
Gonna try to pull some old folk stuff.
HARP is the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, or HARP. Is a scientific endeavor aimed at studying the properties and behavior of the ionosphere. Operations of the research facility was transferred from the United States Air Force to the University of Alaska Fairbanks on August 11, 2015, allowing HARP to continue with exploration of the ionosphere phenomenology via the Land Use Cooperative Research and Development Agreement. Okay, so yes, HARP is no longer in military control, but HARP is still active. Now, here's the thing with HARP, okay? Even if it's in control of fucking a college or whatever, whenever they're turning that shit on, it's fucking shit up, okay? Because what it does is it's blasting. It's got 120 antennas, radio antennas, and it blasts fucking billion, like, I forget how many billions of amps fucking of radio up into a single point, way up into the fucking atmosphere, into the ionosphere, and it literally lifts up the atmosphere and stuff, creating a pocket. So the atmosphere underneath it goes like that. Now that takes all the highs and the low pressure systems and everything around there, and it can literally pull those and move them up into this pocket. Now, my theory is that the government gave that up and they're like, yeah, you guys can play around with it. Because you can't really do much. You can control little things here, there. You really need to be mobile with that shit. Okay? So they've figured out a way, and they have been testing it, and they've tested it several ways, and there's proof and stuff. We'll get into that and stuff. And so that's why they're like, yeah, we're going to shut this down. We can let them play around up there, do their thing, whatever. Then they can be like, oh, yeah, you can't really do much with it. You might be able to manipulate the weather a little bit. Yeah. They were just using that as test. Now, they figured out how to make this shit smaller, more compact, and fucking mobile. And now they are manipulating weather all over the world. And you can tell because if you go on, especially with hurricanes, Hurricane Sandy, anybody who's lived through fucking Hurricane Sandy and stuff like that, go look up the hurricane path for Hurricane Sandy. It went up the coast, normally rides the coast just like a hurricane does, and then right around when it got to New Jersey and shit, right when New Jersey, New York, where it went in and it fucking caused all that damage, it all of a sudden made a perfect 90-degree turn. It just went bam and slammed the fuck into New Jersey. And then it went back away and it squiggled away again. Now, how is that going to happen?
Squiggle.
That's what it does. It squiggles up the coast at a perfect straight line, perfect 90-degree fucking turn, back into the coast. It's off the coast a little bit. The fucking stuff, bam, and just slams right into fucking New Jersey and just fucking pummels the shit out of it. And then it goes back off onto its normal little squiggly lines and it looks normal again. Go and look through the fucking history of fucking hurricanes. Look at what they look at going up the coast all the time and shit. They never make a fucking perfect 90-degree turn like this. There's other hurricanes that did that too, but now with the Hurricane Sandy here. Now, how would you do that? You're not going to fucking be able to blast enough ionosphere, even with all those, and they'd have to add some more antennas and shit like that, okay? Now, in order for them to do that, and of course, when that fucking, I think was Hurricane Sandy in control, was it out of control then? Either way, it doesn't matter. They had to have been closer to fucking do that. So they had some shit that was fucking a lot closer. They fucking blasted a fucking huge fucking hole in the fucking ionosphere, big huge thing, and it fucking created a fucking hole, and it sucked all the fucking the storm, and it literally pulled it right over into that direction. They just, and it had no place to fucking go and shit, so the whole storm just went right up into that thing. They stopped blasting the shit once it got right where it wanted to be and shit. Let it do its fucking thing. Destroy all that. Cause all this fucking property damage with billions and billions and trillions of fucking dollars and shit. And fucking just money generating money and where the fuck the money comes from and shit. That's a whole nother episode and shit. Oh, why it all happens and shit. People getting fucked left and right. No houses, living in fucking trailers and shit. You know the story, people. And it's all because they blasted some fucking radio waves up to the fucking atmosphere and shit. So that's what happened. Yes. HARP was a military research program, so they could figure out how to fucking do this shit, and then make it smaller, and then now they can travel around and do this shit.
You think they're doing satellites? They're using satellites to do it at this point because they're blasting some of these.
Well, no, you have to hit it from the ground, because if you hit it from above, well, maybe they could hit it from above and push it some that way, because when you're going down, it's going to push the atmospheres down and make a dip into it and push things out. With the way what HARP does is it takes the fucking all those radio waves and it focuses them up into a point and it pushes the atmosphere up. So all the lower atmospheres and stuff, they lift and they rise up into that atmosphere. So it pulls, if there's a high pressure system over here, it will pull it up over here this way and push it low, you know what I mean? So it moves all that stuff around. Bruce Willis. He says my mother has AARP. Chiggy does too.
Oh man, that's a lot. They've been sending me mail back.
So.
Try to hear that.
So that's what's going on with the HARP and everything, and that's what they can do with it, and that's how they can manipulate stuff and everything like that.
One of the ways.
And one of the ways that they're manipulating in the weather and stuff like that. So now they can move storms where they want to put storms and stuff. And now we know another way here. How are they going to make that storm bigger? It's called cloud seeding. Now this is completely different than chemtrails. Cloud seeding is when they go up and they fucking put all kinds of chemicals. It's like chemtrails basically and stuff. It's crystals and stuff like that. And they go up and they seed the clouds and they make the fucking clouds bigger and stuff and heavier and whatever and shit, so it fucking rains and stuff like that. And the original idea for this was to make a fucking storm dissipate, but it fucking kind of backfired, and it can make storms grow and shit like that. It all depends on certain conditions, so it can go either way. So now they can make a storm disappear if they want. So if they don't want it to rain in places, they can make it not rain. But if they want it to fucking rain a shitload and fucking create a bigger storm, they can make it fucking bigger and create a bigger storm and shit. Especially they can move highs and low pressures around, and when you're moving high pressures and low pressures and they interact and they push shit and they move shit where it needs to go. So now they can fucking make the storm bigger and badder, and they can put it wherever they want it to go. They can also, again, by moving the ionosphere and stuff, they can make storms go up and around areas. Look at Southern California and shit. Okay, now people in Southern California will tell you, I see fucking chemtrails all the time. Now, you look up on some of these chemtrail websites and cloud seeding websites, they say they're seeding, they're trying to get clouds, they're spraying this stuff up there to create clouds so that it will rain. Yet they're still in a drought, and they've been spraying the fucking cloud seeding since fucking who the fuck knows how long, fucking 20, 30 years, fucking they've been fucking spraying this, and people have been seeing this shit up in the fucking skies all this time, and they get told, yeah, they're cloud seeding, they're trying to make it rain. I think we got better luck if we go out in the backyard, I take some mushrooms and I dance around the fire and shit. I've had it happen.
A big ceremony.
You know what I mean? So there's that cloud seeding is not cloud seeding. Those would be chemtrails. They're spraying us like cockroaches. They're actually fucking reflected. They're actually making the light intensify, and they're drying the area out and shit like that. Because fucking that whole area is where a lot of food and shit comes from. It's got very fertile fucking land and shit like that. So what do you want to do if you want to kill food supply and shit? Cut down the food supply when you're trying to kill people like cockroaches.
Like Nestle, who are pumping water in areas out of certain areas so that they can't get water in those areas and charging people for that water. So of course they don't want rain and stuff either, so other areas would get water and stuff and have more water. And a company like Nestle's wouldn't make as much money if they did off of water and shit like that. There's just so much fucking shit going on there. It's all
there's so much stuff behind it and everything. So why they're doing this and stuff? Number one reason why is well, not number one, but one of the main things is money. And any other reason why some sick fucks think that they gotta kill fucking half the population to fucking save the world so that they can be happy. Whatever. Not gonna happen. So yeah, they can fucking pull and move storms around. Now, here's another storm. There's another way that they can manipulate weather, and they can do fucking some crazy shit with weather. Let's talk about 9/11. Anybody know that there was a hurricane off the coast of fucking New York and New England on 9/11, the morning of 9/11, and yet nobody talked about it. Nobody said anything about it. Now, even if there's a fucking hurricane and it's not fucking on land and it's not causing any problems or anything like that, that shit fucking all over the fucking news. The day before, there wasn't much anybody talking about it and shit like that. That's another hurricane. Go and look it up. Hurricane Erin, I believe it was. Yeah, Hurricane Erin. And it was right off the coast. And that storm had another thing. It was going off the coast far enough where I think the Carolinas and stuff experienced a little bit. So that was in the news a little bit and stuff. But nobody was like talking about it. Nobody was saying anything about it. But it stalled off the coast of fucking New York, New England, right there in the Atlantic and shit. And it sat there. And right around the time when 9/11 started to happen, it moved a little bit closer. And then it kind of stayed around there until right after the second plane hit and shit like that. And it moved away for a little while. And then a little later, and it was just kind of lingering around out there. And then it moved back a little bit closer. Building 7 went down, and then it goes up back up on its regular squiggly line up the coast. Yeah, 9/11 was an inside job, but by who? That's a question. Keep digging, Jasmine. You're on the right track. Yeah, you can go to jail for collecting rainwater in fucking almost every state now and shit. There's a lot of reasons why they do that and everything, and they say they do that and stuff like that. But so yeah, that's another one, and that's some of the earlier stuff because Hurricane Sandy happened after 9/11 and all that, and so they were testing that. So they already had the ability to move this hurricane around, and they used the energy of that hurricane to do what they did with the towers. We're not going to go fully on into detail and everything. You want to look up that whole entire thing and see what I'm talking about. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't none of this stuff because fucking shit doesn't just fucking disappear and turn into fucking dust with fucking bombs and stuff like that. Okay? Just look into it. There's deeper stuff. It wasn't a nuke. There's no fucking sine waves. There's none of that shit.
Look at the clock backwards. 9/11. That's funny.
That is funny.
Oh, how about that?
Our clock in the studio here, if you read it back, because it's a countdown clock, it says 9/11, and it says now it says it both ways.
There it is.
Because it does
Just
seconds.
missed
So yeah, so there's this hurricane, and if you look into it, it's called the Hutchinson effect. That's another way that they're manipulating weather and stuff, and that's where they're using satellites and stuff. It's basically like a fucking death ray, but they have to use fucking the power of a fucking hurricane and shit, because what a hurricane, the power of a hurricane can do. It can literally fucking... The energy, it literally liquefies fucking trees, so a 2x4 will go straight fucking through it. Like it fucking was put there, like the tree grew around it and shit like that. So there's all kinds of stuff. Look into that deeper and everything like that. So yeah, so 9/11, it wasn't bombs, it wasn't any of that stuff. They did, you know, there's way more to 9/11, just like everything out there. All the stuff out there telling you all that stuff, it's all disinformation, it's all things, psyops and ways to get everybody to separate and to look away and to realize that there's bigger and more fucking crazier shit going on than fucking even that stuff, because that stuff's crazy to fucking think about and everything. And that stuff could happen and shit, that they could set off a nuke in the basement or whatever, or fucking, you know, fucking controlled demolition and shit like that and everything like that. But if you look into the Hutchinson effect and Dr. Judy Woods, you go into that. We'll be talking more. We usually go into that on 9/11 and everything like that. But I'm bringing it up because of the fact of the hurricane and the track of that hurricane and stuff, and the Hartingen effect and what Dr. Judy Woods talks about, and among other people and stuff. And I've done a lot of research into it and stuff to try to think outside the box and not look at them. And the stuff doesn't add up when you look at all the other theories. A lot of it is good, but then there's things that don't fit and don't fit right. The closest thing that comes to is what Dr. Judy Woods and a few other people comes up with is where it was some type of Hutchinson weapon effect, and they use that energy as the hurricanes and stuff like that. Because as you know, hurricanes are immense energy, and when you can control that energy, you can do some fucking crazy shit with it. Really fucking crazy shit. And they know how to do this shit. They've been working on fucking weather manipulation for a long fucking time. A long fucking time. Exactly. 3 buildings, 2 planes. Yep. Doesn't add up. Controlled demolition doesn't add up. Nuke doesn't add up. When you look at all the signs and everything, there's certain things that you look for, all these different things and everything like that, and it's the evidence isn't there. Thermite's not there. We would have seen fucking huge bright fucking flashes and shit all over the fucking place. None of it adds up. That you gotta fucking look it up.
Some shit they have that we don't know they have.
So yeah, there's all kinds of things. The towers were pretty much empty, and most of the floors, all kinds of shit. So, anyways, back to the energy part about that. So they're manipulating the hurricanes and shit like that. Now these storms and shit here that we're having, we've never had storms like this and stuff, and any recorded history and shit like that where you have back to back storms like that we have and stuff. Especially now at this time of the year and everything like that. So they manipulate that. Who knows? I've been trying to look into the weather patterns, but looking and tracing all these weather patterns and looking all these fucking lines and shit all the time, it drives you fucking bonkers and shit. I give props to a weather fucking guy. Looking at these shits all day long and stuff. So I got to track all these maps and stuff. And look at, you got to look for the patterns and stuff, and look for stuff that's out of place with each storm and stuff. You have to go and look for storms that, okay, I think this was a normal storm. I think this storm was another storm that might have been whatever. And you have to watch the track of the storm. Did it wobble in this way? Did it fucking rapidly intensify? Because now all of a sudden here, since 2015, we have a new type of fucking nor'easter and fucking thing that happens. Bombogenesis. And the storm fucking bombs out. It just comes on top and it just bombs out. They have this fucking new term. Now, I know fucking things because certain groups of people think that fucking certain things didn't exist and stuff because the word wasn't invented and put into a dictionary and shit to a fucking certain time. We won't fucking go into that one either. Dinosaurs.
They were pets.
Okay. So, if you think dinosaurs didn't exist because it didn't come into the dictionary until like the 1800s, you got some other fucking issues. So, just because this word bombogenesis doesn't mean this stuff didn't happen, but this stuff has started happening so much that they fucking came up with a name for it now. It's happened in storms. I've seen it happen in storms and stuff like that before, but where it's happening so much more. These storms are so much more intense. They happen so much more differently than storms that, like, I'm pretty good with the weather. Queen will testify. A lot of these guys will testify. Usually when I say, yeah, we're going to get fucking 18 inches, we get about 18 inches. Or I say it's going to rain a fucking shitload. I'm pretty good, even without watching the weather and shit like that. So, but it's a lot harder to predict these things and stuff and everything now. It's fucking crazy. Just, again, the size of these storms can go from Texas to fucking Canada up to the fucking New Brunswick and shit like that. And everywhere fucking in between, it's fucking crazy weather. Raining in Texas, snowing up here in fucking New England and shit. All from one fucking storm. Stretched through fucking 2/3 across the country. Or 1/3 across the country. How the fuck is that possible? When just literally 20 fucking years ago, 25 years ago, storms were a fucking quarter of that size. Not even a quarter of that size. You know what I mean? They were fucking a lot smaller and shit. Yeah, you'd have some big storms and stuff like that, but nothing that stretched fucking from Texas to Maine. That's just insane. Insane.
Super.
So yeah, now could it be global warming? Yes, we're doing shit that's warming up the fucking atmosphere and shit, and changing the temperatures, rising sea levels and stuff like that, melting ice waters is gonna change the fucking natural currents of the fucking air and shit around and everything like that, and cause chain storms to get fucking thing. But to happen so fucking rapidly and change when we know that they're doing things like HARP and everything, and I have some other weather modification things I'm going to go into here in a few minutes or so. I think we're going to have to take a break there because this camera's going to go in a minute or two and stuff. So, yeah, let's leave it right here for now, and we'll come back in a few minutes after we switch out the batteries.
Break.
You guys can listen to a few songs and stuff like that. Chat in there in the fucking chat. You know, come up with some stuff that maybe you guys know some shit about, some crazy weather and stuff like that, you know, that has to do with what you think maybe weather modification. You want to call in and stuff. The phone number will be up there on the screen here in a minute.
Don't be scared.
And we're going to keep on talking about this weather shit. What the fuck is really going on out there?
Yeah.
What can we do to help?
What can we do to stop this bullshit? We back. Don't go too far, folks. It's Paranormal Hood.
Yo, Jiggy, are we live?
Wait, what? I got my hold on. My headphones on. What did you say?
Are we live?
Oh, fuck. Are we? Wait, did it bleep that?
I
No,
think we're
hold on,
live.
shit.
We're live.
I'm live?
Yeah, we're live.
I'm live too?
Yep, we're all live.
Oh, this shit is live?
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta scream it like alert, alert, spoil alert. Another track with another verse. Coming from the netherworld, got this body on a tether cord. Portal on my back like a ninja sword. We at war, but the fog don't show what the conscious knows, so that I can't see where the mind won't go. Love is the absence of fear, befriended the demons, so angels stay near. Angles appear, shapes create prisms, and prisons of mirrors. Clash with the gods with this pen as a spear. Been through the hell without showing the fear. We implode what you holding so dear. Exposing this flow to your ears. Fractals on fractals, so focus so clear. Dying so well that my living is weird. But you feeling is weird. But you feeling is here. Cause the truth is the truth, nigga. No matter what you call fact. And the fact of the matter is, I'm certain I'm mad on these tracks. Controlling the frequency as I vibrate so geniusly. It's just the free in me. Or maybe these shrooms gave birth to my truth through this womb. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. Popping shrooms, rolling live in my London fog. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. My London fog. Fucking London fog.
But it appears that the ancients were interested in the study of how to discriminate and discern which were the good angles coming in and which were the bad angles. You know, in astrology, they're angles or angels, and the language of angels is astrology.
Yo, everything came from black, so we can put a halt to the races. The issue is awakening the mass population for removal of the faces. See, what you seeing is a matrix, so what you seeing is a womb with a full spectrum, bringing life when the ray hit. I can hear it like I'm hearing what my name is. I can feel it even running through my veins in. They made a maze for amazement. I took a prison and I turned it to a playpen. I am Christ in the flesh, fire in a fire-based body, pouring water on the earth when I air. It's all inside of me, what shall I ever compare? It's all surrounding me, what shall I ever draw near? They want me drowning, but fire and water put me in the air. All in that ether and gather as soon as I think and imagine it. They want me dead when I spit on this bitch, niggas rise up like Lazarus. That's fucking supreme, I'm programming dream while they talking that fabric. I will call audacious, revealing the faces on all of your savages. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. Popping shrooms, rolling lie in my London fog. That's why I be getting high in my London fog. Yeah, my London fog. Yeah, fucking London fog.
You know, if you do the discipline to get your aura into a geometry where the pine cones can kiss, which means you need to avoid electrosmog. Basically, the electrical definition of sacred space is the only place where your aura can unpack. And it's correct to call that the awakening, because it's literally the further and further propagation of your field according to laws of phase conjugation.
What's up, gods and goddesses? It's your boy JMC out of SOTOV, Supremes of the Ohio Valley. You're now listening to Paranormal Hood Radio.
I am fucking supreme. Yeah. Yo, I am fucking supreme. I put wings on that serpent. I am so fucking firefly. Yeah, my mind is like fireside. I am at you like pie. I put that on my third eye. I am off inside dimensions, only seen with one eye. Dimensional tryptamine, God. I am seeing the unseen, God. Papa Diamond, that psilocybin got me talking through them trees. God, I'm all inside of the Akashic. That silicone on my conscience. Now every time I trip the veil, my whole world go like timeless. I might fly by with no ride. That mind of mine get time bent. I'm from the land of them giants. This black ring on my iris. I told motherfuckers we never gonna die. I'm over God on these tyrants. Over these gods with synagogues. I just turned my serpent on. That liquid flame get to your brain. Some get lit, some go insane. I've been lifted. Mushrooms in my third eye, not blind. Trip to another high. Slip through another timeline. Flip another 1-6. I am God through 5. Root to the crown. In and out when I want to. I will never die. I am fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin. So I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees. So we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortal. Cause I am
fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin. So I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees. So we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortals.
Cause I am fucking supreme. Extreme dreaming, I'm scheming. Hunting that ultimate meaning. Bleeding that truth out my stomach. They tried to put up these walls. We're here to break that shit down. We're here to burn all this money. We're here to bring down that crown. Cause we are fucking supreme. We'll be that voice of the voiceless, expressing visions of peace. But first some things are in order. Stack up elites by the corpses. Of course I'm feeling remorse. But if that's what we gotta do to keep on moving this forward, for my soul's forever immortal, interdimensional portals. They tried to keep us entangled with paper gods that control us. Then tie that paper to God, full of eternal blessings and morals. And stay in class, work off your ass and keep on running in circles. Now say I'm free to be the face of the faces. Remove dead faces to which we are loyal. Scatter the jewels of the royals. Ain't no wishing, just revealing this vision of united fists in the sky from all of our children, knowing they're free. Fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin so I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees, so we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortal. Cause I am
fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin so I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees, so we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortals.
Cause I am fucking supreme. I create what I dream. Quantum induce all the photons, so my light code is seen. Yeah, that's manifestation. Yeah, that's induced coherence. Plus the light interference produces life when you hear it. Yeah, that's word the result. I'm seeing dimensions and circles, moving the light through the portal. Who knew this life was immortal? Don't let them slave you with time. DNA full of divine. There's so much weight on your spine, cause of all those crowns on your mind. Why you wanna be a king when you incarnated God? Heavy is the head that wears that crown, cause I stand on top. Yeah, this freedom don't cost, just pay attention to thought. That's 21 grams of this love. I'ma whip it all in this sauce. Yeah, no death, no birth. So I guess I'm just a walking truth. A fucking star inside a jar, a god inside a boot. Got me breaking all these spells just to get us through. But I promise it's all worth it. We empower you.
I am fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin so I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees, so we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortal. Cause I am
fucking supreme. This the return of that sovereign. Now watch me take off my skin so I can lift up the consciousness.
Yeah, they cut down our trees, so we passed through that portal. Yeah, they thought we were slaves, but we came back as immortals. Cause I am fucking supreme.
Something strange in your hood? call Jiggy and the Hoodies on Paranormal Hood.
I get a different reaction. I live my life by the laws of attraction. Different reaction. I get a different reaction. I live my life by the laws of attraction. Different reaction. Let's get it. Been feeling like I have seen so many faces stuck in the matrix. Don't know if this song may go over your head, but fuck it, I'll take. I've been taking action for all my people. I do this with passion. I've been attracting alien life forms with different reactions. I made music for the soul. I came to empower and take back control. Oh, homie, you didn't know that crystalline gold that came with these flows. I like for you all to perceive a new way you're living, a new way to do this with ease. 28, but I'm ancient. I've been existing ever since existence has came to fruition with premonitions through my intuition. Out my mouth depicting only truth. I am a god of war, Aries. I do not lose. I manifested as cruise. Feel the sensations flow up. Your 33 vertebrae. I know you heard of me. Time that you've heard of me. I be the infinite one, the one that gazes at the sun. I get my shit done and back to the astro. Got you digesting my work through your gastro. Intestinal is intentional. The way I speak my knowledge through these instrumentals. All my songs are mental, so just memorize and let it out your dentals. Everything I've been through culminates to this point. I've been rolling fire, my shit's on point. Take hits from this joint, yo. I've been feeling like I have seen so many faces stuck in the matrix. Know if this song may go over your head, but fuck it, I'll take. I've been taking action for all my people. I do this with passion. I've been attracting alien levels with different reactions.
Searching for words of the ancients, carefully turning the pages. Verbally dangerous, work with the language, burn the restraints that contains us. Grateful to give my thanks and my praises. Coming straight from the pavement, my strength will break through these cages. Disciple of age-old sages, study the basics until the day that they make sense. Step up in the ranks next. We coming courageous, tough as a razor blade is. Struggle for pace like Mother Teresa. Raise up, nothing can phase us. Rugged abrasions, scrapes and grazes, cuts on our faces. Stuck in the matrix, somebody come up and wake us quick. Knowledge that can't suppress. We stopping the razor fist into the atmosphere, flipping with different reactions. Typical intergalactic tactics, lift up our assets, building an integral path of access. This is my Jackson.
Feeling like I have seen so many faces stuck in the matrix. Know if this song may go over your head, but fuck it, I'll take. I've been taking action for all my people. I do this with passion. I've been attracting alien life forms with different reactions. Man with no purpose will feel like he's worthless, and if I am infinite, I'm truly birthless. I do this to murk this. No, you've never heard this. Everything I do has a purpose. Yo, have you ever been exposed? Intelligent flows that comes from the soul, and when it explodes into your whole endocrine system, it goes. Magical substance that glows. Now I am back in the lab. Alchemical mixtures intertwine and watch it react. Takes matter from nothing, turns it into something your ears can know bump to. Now put this on blast. I get a different reaction. When it's my music, you're blasting. I put my words into action. I know you love how I'm rapping. Young God, here I go. I'ma let it go. I'ma let it flow. I'ma spit it one time. But all of you to get it with me, get frustrated, and you know I'm in it. You know what's embedded with that fundamental element. You know my shit is heaven sent. Every syllable I utter, every word is so magnificent. Homie, can you hear the difference yet? Did I go over your head? Did I create a new element? I've been feeling like I have seen so many faces stuck in the matrix. Know if this song may go over your head, but fuck it, I'll take. I've been taking action for all my people. I do this with passion. I've been attracting alien life forms with different reactions.
Smoke weed every day.
Peace and love, everybody out there. This is Paranormal Hood.
20,000 police in the whole town. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? All right. You're gonna learn today.
What's Hood Hoodies? Welcome back to the last hour for those folks on Blog Talk, because let me do the last one segment of Paranormal Hood. But we're still live and direct here in the God of Knowledge Studios. I'm your host, Jiggy.
I'm Smoking.
Buddy Greenberg.
Metaphor here.
And we're doing our thing. Of course, again, anybody who's listening via anything, Blog Talk, connected through our website, whatever, if you want to be a part of the show through the whole stretch and see everything, and the chat is definitely very interactive over there. Head over to YouTube, Paranormal Hood Live. Just jump in there. You can do your thing. Say hi in the chat. What's up, Ebony? Ebony is cool. She's in Boston right now. She's enjoying our city. She didn't get slammed with all the crazy nor'easter snow, so obviously she's still having a good time. So we're glad you're enjoying Boston. I'm glad it's being nothing but peace and love to you. Keep enjoying the city. And thank you for listening right now. See, she's doing her thing here, but she took the time to put us on. Thank you to everybody who's listening and watching and chatting and doing their thing. Peace and love to all of you. So we're back. We're talking about severe weather. And we're talking about HOP. But, you know, HOP is one thing. You know, there's definitely other things that are out there that in some senses, in some ways could be concerning. I mean, you know, it's layman's. They throw around terms and use these big words, and they tell you things and what they're supposed to be doing. And, you know, in a lot of cases, it may not seem like much, and it seems like, hey, you know, they're just scientists, and they're just doing what they're supposed to do, you know. And some things, you know, you have to wonder, too, are we pushing the boundaries? Are we so willing to explore anything and try to figure something out that we're willing to do whatever it takes to build and construct things? And I mean, think about the things that we know. You know, there's things out there that we know, and then we kind of know what they do, and then in a lot of cases we don't know what they do. But think about the things that we probably don't know that they're creating and doing stuff with. Like you said, like even the possibility of, say, a super harp or a portable harp or something that's not even fucking called harp at this point. Project X1431-0, whatever the fuck they call it, Project Zero, and it's capable of fucking moving around and creating this.
I'm calling it M-harp.
M-harp?
Yeah, mobile
harp.
harp.
There you go. Mobile harp. Works for me. Mobile harp. There you go.
That shit is either mounted on it's on a fucking ship or something. It's got probably a ship. It's got to be a good size. I don't think they got it compact enough that it's driving around in the back of a fucking pickup truck or some shit, or even a trailer truck. You know what I mean? It's probably
maybe it's a robot, like
it's
the
probably
Vision
on a
and
boat,
shit,
because with a boat you could pretty much manipulate any country's fucking weather from a boat. You don't have to be on land with it. They can just be sitting in a fucking boat off the coast, and they could fuck your whole entire fucking world up.
Whistle it away.
Now we're not talking. Now let's see. We've just been talking about fucking blizzards and fucking hurricanes and shit. Now let's talk about tsunamis.
Tsunamis.
That's some pretty big fucking crazy tsunamis in the last fucking 10 years, fucking 15 years. What was the first 04 and so. Yeah, the last 15 years, we'll call it. So, and then the fucking Fukushima one. Now, could be Mother Nature, could have just been an earthquake and a landslide and stuff like that, but we know we can fucking blow shit up. Could they have fucking caused one of these earthquakes on purpose and fucking one of these landslides and one of these tsunamis on purpose and shit?
Tsunamis.
You never know. Here's another one. Ghost is in here and shit. Ghost, you listening? Ghost, is he listening?
Yeah, I think he's in the...
Ghost, call in, tell us talk to us about your theories on Haiti and stuff, and the earthquake there in Haiti. Because I don't want to fuck up your whole entire theory and stuff. But basically, he's got a thing, and I kind of, you know, you can go with it and shit, because when that earthquake happened in Haiti, fucking earthquakes don't happen in Haiti and stuff. That fault line hasn't had it, and then for it to have that, and it just in that one certain area for the earthquake to happen and shit like that. It just seems too coincidental, and I don't believe in coincidences, so... So for that to happen and everything like that, we'll see if we can get Ghost on the line and he can talk about it more and stuff, because he knows a little bit more about it, because there's some other stuff going on in Haiti at the time, some type of construction shit going on, projects and stuff that, you know, maybe they were fucking doing something and they caused that earthquake or something, or maybe that fucking earthquake was caused for a reason and shit.
Sorry, I'm texting him.
We can't just go invading Haiti, but we can go there and help them after a natural disaster.
Yeah, they built, what, 5 houses and shit? They collected billions of dollars, and I think they built a total of like 6 houses there and shit. And
yeah, because they wanted whatever they else wanted. They wanted resources, whatever else they could fucking go in there and fucking do and shit like that. Yeah, they used them. They said they were, you know, taking all this money and stuff for donations and stuff and all that fucking, you know, shady business shit and stuff, but there was obviously something else there, that's something they wanted. Maybe what they had to get out of the fucking ground that caused the earthquake was fucking what they wanted and shit. And they're like, oh fuck.
You gotta get out of here now.
We got what we needed. Let's go.
All right, Clinton, stick over. Have fun, Clinton Foundation. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe there was something hidden underneath Haiti and they fucking blew it up and they fucking collapsed the giant, fucking made a giant sinkhole. No, because the parts of Haiti lifted way the fuck up and some shit sank down. And that shit was all fucked up and shit, though. But something like that could happen. Now, the same thing with fucking Fukushima tsunami. How come that shit just fucking perfectly... right where they fucking, like, it like almost perfectly, hit right perfectly, right at the fucking, the nuclear power plant. It's just perfect right in that area and shit. And I've looked at the fucking topography and shit of the ocean and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if a tsunami coming from where it did, if it would just push right into that one spot right there and shit without some type of manipulation. You never know again, because there's not a lot of tsunami footage and shit out there and stuff, and a lot of the fucking, you know, stuff that you can go and look at. You can look at simulations and shit like that, but that's
hide
just
the monsters that live inside of the power plant.
You know, now if they have something that can fucking shoot waves way the fuck up into the atmosphere and push the ionosphere up and shit like that and move the fucking atmosphere around and the weather systems around and shit, who's to say they don't have something that don't fucking push fucking energy waves or some type of radio waves, some type of fucking waves to make waves bigger and shit? What if there wasn't a fucking earthquake and a fucking shit like that? What if they were fucking doing something with fucking energy and pushing energy waves and shit or whatever, and that fucking makes it kind of feel like an earthquake and shit, and it fucking pushes the water where they want it to go?
Anything's possible.
And exactly, anything is fucking possible. There's all kinds of fucking shit where these things could be happening.
New Orleans, even
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I mean, that's another hurricane where, again, if you look at the track of that hurricane and what happened and how that hurricane strengthened up and what it did.
And the irony, too, is someone who's been to New Orleans and you see, like, those levees, but they also have these gates and stuff for certain communities that they close. So it's like certain communities are spared. Other communities are not because all the backlash from that water.
Yeah, if you look at all these hurricanes recently and stuff like that, and now what's happening? Gentrification and shit like
land
that.
grabs. It's all land grabs. Even that shit in Jersey.
Goes in.
The Jersey Shore and all that shit, like you wipe out that old shore.
That's what I'm saying. They've figured out a way to manipulate weather, and they're doing it as a way of big business, but they're also doing it as a fucking control of fear and shit like that and everything like that, because they could fucking make anybody afraid and anybody scared at any point in time. Be like, oh no, there's this big bad storm coming. Is it gonna come? Oh, it is coming!
Go,
run,
stars, hurry up,
panic, panic, flee, go crazy.
Your cable's gonna go out. Oh shit! I'm gonna lose cable. You know how many people that was there complained? My cable went out. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Read a book or something. Find something else to do. Like shit. When the power used to go out, we used to go outside.
Fucking
shit.
talk to each other.
Absolutely.
Hi, how you doing? How was your day? What about this weather?
Exactly. Maybe even call somebody you haven't called in a long time and say hello. Check in on them. People just freak out again. But yeah, that shit in New Orleans was, you know what that was all about. And you saw how that shit hit and stuff. So you know someone somewhere.
Look at fucking Houston and everything and what happened in Houston and stuff and that fucking
We
size
have a
of that
problem.
hurricane and what the fucking what's going on. These storms, again, the size of these storms and where they're going, and it's like they're aimed at these places. Yeah, these places are getting storms and stuff. It's like when all of a sudden these places are just getting fucking hit with these storms. They just seem a little bit out of the ordinary. I know Mother Nature can be a little bit fickle, but you know, again, when you start to look at this stuff and you look at the paths of these storms, the tracks of these storms, and they start making these perfect, and I mean, I'm not saying Sandy went up and then it fucking went left with a squiggly line. No, it went perfect. It's a fucking straight line right into the fucking coast. And it couldn't be any more fucking straight. It goes, bam! It's just like fucking this giant hurricane. She's like, fuck you, New Jersey! Bam! Just smacks fucking New Jersey. Oh, man. It just slammed the fuck right into her. Didn't lube Jersey up or anything. It's just like, fuck you, Jersey. Bam! And she just rides away up the coast.
Did its job. It did what it's supposed to do. Somebody's definitely controlling this weather. Again, how they're doing it. And then, again, just getting into something else. We talk about HAARP, again, like CERN. Like, let's talk a little bit about CERN and even the power of what it's doing, what it's capable of doing. And
well, right now, CERN, I don't think it has anything to do with weather at all or anything. It's all underground and stuff like that. I mean, it could do stuff like that if it, like, ever creates a fucking giant black hole and shit starts getting sucked in. I mean, I guess you could call that extreme wind weather and shit. You know what I mean? But with CERN's not really... You know, or it might open a portal and shit, but it's not really going to manipulate weather and shit. Maybe energy fields and stuff like that, electromagnetic field and stuff. I've heard some stuff with strange bird flight patterns and shit around CERN and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, you fucking shooting atoms around a fucking circle, fucking the speed of light and crash them into each other and shit, and all the energy that it takes to do that and stuff. But as far as weather around CERN and stuff, there's nothing out of the ordinary that isn't out of the ordinary weather that's happening around the world and stuff. So. What's your ideas with that? Because you brought it up. Did you hear something about CERN?
Well, I mean,
or
they've
anything?
shown
It's like,
some visuals of some of the weather patterns that exist above CERN. So if it's doing little small
I've seen
things
portals.
there,
I've seen portals open above that, like what's supposed to be a portal and stuff like that. But I haven't seen anything like with weather. Yeah, the clouds open up and it starts to glow and stuff.
But
like
the idea is if you're opening up portals,
but the weather around it, it's like
yeah,
a portal. Yeah, but it's But it's not creating severe weather or anything. The people down below ain't fucking getting blown away by this portal. Yeah, they're like, oh, cool, look at that shit.
It doesn't have to affect the area right above, right around itself.
But I'm saying, what is your thing with severe weather?
Opening up portals, that you're
opening up
a
portal. So what does it have to do with severe weather? Is what I'm saying.
They're trying. It could be destabilizing our weather too. It could also be an effect. We're saying that it could be global warming, but they're also saying this could be another effect, that you're opening up these portals that are destabilizing kind of the veil. You're thinning the two worlds. You're thinning the worlds between.
So you're saying severe weather is part of another world?
Well, it could be an after effect of just fucking around, opening up these portals. That it's just creating so much energy, that we're not used to. It's something that's not normally in our plane of existence.
You mean like in the movies when they got thunderstorms opening up around the portals?
Like thunderstorms and crazy
around the new dimension and opening up.
Is this a jiggy theory, or where is this theory coming from?
No, I mean, I've read different things where people have said that this could be the after effects of the two worlds colliding, of the kind of the thinning of the veil. It's two things that aren't necessarily supposed to be in the same space at the same time. You're allowing something to kind of come into your space, or you're going into it. It's not supposed to exist at the same time. It's going to cause things that would happen here that aren't normal.
Possible. I guess I'll have to look into that one more. We should have mentioned that before, so I could have looked into it. So, because, like, I mean, I could see a portal open it up and fucking... You know, some strange shit coming through a fucking, maybe if they're on the other side, there was a storm going on, fucking all of a sudden fucking that weather came through the portal and stuff like that. But, like, as far as, like, yeah, our dimensions crossing with another one and stuff, like, so that means, so we're experiencing the weather of another dimension and stuff like that. That's what it would be. Because
I'm me from over there.
Two dimensions... You know, start to do that and stuff like it, like the energy of that wouldn't create like, oh, let's, you know, the energy is like just, you know, and oh, there's a storm, you know. If these are like actual storms, we know that these storms and there's patterns and stuff, but the thing is that these patterns and these storms and stuff, when they're happening, they're way bigger than they used to be before and stuff like that, and it's like something is making them grow. So CERN would have to somehow, from where it is, manipulate that storm there, or the energy that's left over from a portal being open, be like, woo, there's a storm in Texas, let me make it bigger and stuff like that. This leftover portal energy or whatever you're saying. I'm just trying to go with and trying to see from your side for whatever wherever this is coming from, and these people saying that the weather around the world is an after effect of CERN crossing of these different dimensions and messing with the energy. I just don't see it like with this random energy, because CERN just isn't on all the time, and it actually is only on fucking limited amounts of time and shit like that.
Just because you open something
all
up,
that
but
open
you're
that
necessarily
something up.
closing it too, though.
Now they closed it, but now again, why would like? So they open it up and then they don't close it, and the energy's coming in and stuff. So that energy's just swirling around from CERN, and then all of a sudden it's just, again, it's like, oh, let me have a fucking hurricane over here in New Orleans. or let me have a giant fucking storm over here in Malaysia. That's the only thing is like, how is that, you know what I mean? I could see that a portal opens up and all of a sudden we're crossed with another dimensional where there's a fucking crazy storms going on all around the world, and all of a sudden the whole world at the same time has a crazy storm going on and shit. But I don't see how a portal opening up here and fucking over where CERN is gonna fucking, you know what I mean? All of a sudden that it's affecting and making a storm that's in Malaysia fucking bigger and
don't know
doing
what
something
the hell
like
it's capable of doing.
I don't know either, but that's what I'm saying is I'm trying to get, because there's certain laws and stuff of the universe and stuff and the ways they have to work,
laws?
even in other dimensions and stuff like that. So for it to happen, like, and then again, these storms are happening when CERN's not even operating. Even if it was just left open, you would all that energy streaming in. The weather would be just complete chaos all the time, everywhere, every single day and stuff. It's random and sporadic where these storms are fucking doing this and stuff like that. So that's why I'm trying to say is like, how this portal being open, or how is the portal being open affecting these storms, that when this is a random portal here and then this storm is 6 months later or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they don't operate CERN all the time and shit. It fucking the energy use and stuff. There's fucking all kinds of stuff for when they do stuff at CERN and stuff.
Do we
it's
know
done.
when they operate CERN?
Oh yeah, they know. You know when people. You can go and look and see when they're operating CERN and stuff, and you can watch live videos and stuff that's going on at CERN, like this stuff
And
like
what
that.
about when they turn on when the live videos aren't on?
So, well, there's people around there that tell you that, okay, we know there's things that you know when a fucking 17-mile fucking long fucking giant machine in the ground is fucking going off.
And they
shit
can't
like
turn
that.
on noises and shit and everything deep down. They don't, you know what I'm
So,
saying?
exactly. So, there's all these strange noises. They must be fucking trying to distract us and not think that CERN's on and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's people that are there that are trying to see when
CERN's
CERN's
on,
working.
CERN's off.
You
I
can
don't
tell
know.
when CERN's on.
I
and
ain't
there's
been to
people
CERN.
that, again, they're in the area that put up videos, CERN's on. You can tell CERN's on. This is what happens when CERN's on and stuff like that. So that's why I'm saying. I mean, anything is possible. It could be possible, but it's a quite a far stretch again. Because if a portal opens, they get videos a lot of times when these portals open, and they could, okay, let's say it's fucking this month here, but then all of a sudden all the crazy weather happens 6 months later. It's
If that veil is thinning and they're not closing that veil properly, just saying.
But the veil of what? The veil of the storm. That's what I'm saying.
The veil
like
of the two worlds.
The
The
two
veil of
worlds.
opening
So
up
you're
those
saying
portals.
Okay, so that's again. So the veil of the storm is thinning and stuff. So those storms are coming into our world. But what else is coming into that
I'm not
world?
talking about the storms. It's not the
What do you mean?
storms
Just the
coming into
energy?
the world. And just the veil. The veil. You even watch movies when shit happens. They open up portals and shit. There's always crazy shit that happens around it, not necessarily in the middle. You always talk about the calm of the storm. If the portal itself is the eye, the calm of that storm, there's not
Yeah,
going to be
but
anything
that's what
that
I'm
happens
saying.
there.
The portal opens up. Okay, so then 6 months later, the veil, because the veil is still there, thin. All of a sudden,
But
Texas
different things
has
are somehow
a
just
storm
kind of
and-
flowing between those two veils.
Again, anything is possible. I don't know. You're gonna have to again get more. I mean, just saying the veil is thin and isn't really helping very much, and to describe it and to help give the people listening a better understanding as to what you're saying and everything. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is the more technical what is actually
You're looking
happening?
for a
What's
technical
going?
term. There's not a technical term
I'm
for
saying,
everything, though.
but
You
this
want a
veil-
technical term because you want to
but
explain
you're saying-
technically. It's
but
not
we're trying to
something
get
that has to do with-
the people to understand, and you're just
Okay.
giving
But
them
everything, but
okay, the
everything,
veil
but
is
everything.
leaving.
You
Yes,
can't
the veil.
explain everything in a technical term. You can sit here.
But
We
I'm
can
not
talk
saying
about
in a technical
anything,
term and in a
everything
way
is a
that's
technical
more
term.
understandable than just the veil is thinning. You're just saying the veil is thinning, and okay, so the veil is thinning, so we have random, sporadic, crazy storms all around the world. What else is happening from this thinning veil?
Well, shit could be the reason why I'm here. I'm me from someplace.
But all
else,
that
shit.
happened before CERN was fucking.
The Mandela effects, all kinds of things.
and
I mean, we
stuff like,
talk
okay,
about a
that's something
million
that could-
topics that all could be effects of that. A Mandela
Okay, that's
effect.
something that's more plausible. That could be effect of a portal and a thinning veil and stuff, and two worlds colliding and stuff like that and stuff. Where,
So
I could
one
see
thing
that
is, well, one
happen.
thing isn't. But that doesn't.
But that's something that's happening all the time, like simultaneously. You're talking about
We've
random
just had back to
sporadic
back to
storms.
back to back nor'easters, even here. Crazy weather.
That was just over here in this one centralized location. So the veil is thinning all around the world, but New England is just going
And
to get
then we
hit with
have
nor'easters.
wildfires. We have
That's
all
what
kinds
I'm
of things
trying
that
to
happen
get.
at the
That's what
same
I'm trying to
time.
get at. But there isn't a whole bunch of crazy sporadic weather patterns right now because I've been
Right this
looking
very
into
second.
it. Right now, I'm just saying
Yeah.
specifically in New England, would be the craziest weather patterns going on around the world. For the most part, they're pretty stable in most places. Yeah, Southern California is still experiencing drought and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying, the thinning veil and stuff, and it's, again, it's plausible and stuff. I'm just trying to see, you heard about this, you read about it, so I'm just trying to get more information about this subject, because we're trying to talk to these people. The veil and
talk to the people.
You know, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you want me to put X's and O's and explain it that way, and I'm just saying
P's
the
and
Mandela
Q's.
effect, there's different effects of it. It's just one possible effect of it. You want me to say, oh, because it's going to cause a storm over
the
here.
Mandela effect, CERN opened up, and now everybody, like all kinds of people and stuff, that like there's a whole, like at the same time experiencing stuff. Now, okay, CERN operated and the veils are thinning or whatever.
Okay, so fuck New England. Just say in general. There's something going on throughout the whole country, even here, and then throughout the world. There's different things. You're trying to fucking knock it down to 1 second. You want me to say, let's look at it, say, when there's something massive going, when there's earthquakes, when there's droughts, when there's fires, when there's things going on around the world. Is that better for you? So now around the world, when everything is going on, let's get it to a month when everything is going on, okay, and all this stuff is going on. There's a possibility that's an after effect of one thing. That's all I'm saying. We have a million things to talk about. I'm just saying
that's
one thing.
That's why I'm trying to talk about this thing. You just kind of sporadically throw this thing out there. I'm trying to delve into this topic a little bit more.
X and O's.
You're getting upset about it. And I'm not saying X's and O's. You throw a topic and a theory out there, and then that's it. You don't have anything
you were doing all
else.
the talking. I was trying to explain. You wanted to keep telling me to explain it even further. You wanted to talk. You wanted to keep talking.
The veil, the thins, the
no, I don't talk. Don't simplify. Don't make me sound like a fucking idiot, because I'm not a fucking idiot. I'm not talking. I know it wasn't the veil and thin. You want to keep talking, and every time I had something to say, you want to keep talking because you want X's and O's. You want to explain it your ways. When I can't explain, you can say, well, it's this and that. You don't want me to explain it. You want to keep telling me what the fuck it is.
Go ahead and explain it.
There's nothing to explain. Move on to another part of it then. There you go. Because you want to have a conversation about it your way.
It's not about my way. I'm trying to get more information about the thing. You brought up the topic and the subject. All right, so if one of the listeners right now...
I'm not the only person. Other listeners in the room said that they think that even CERN has a bigger implication than HAARP. Look at you reading some of the other comments that are in the room, too. I'm not the only person that thinks that way. That I think that something that massive with that much power is going to have much more power.
I'm a caller on the line. Elaborate that for me. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do is get you to elaborate. Not my way, your way, anyway. Elaborate more on the theory of why CERN would be doing these things.
We did. Opening up portals, different things that they're doing. I'm not saying it's going to have effect forever, but when they're doing this stuff, it's going to have effect. I'm not saying it's affecting the weather in New England right now, but it's a possibility when they're doing this stuff, it's going to affect our weather patterns. When things are massively going on, fires, droughts, earthquakes, all this stuff that's not understood around the world. When you wake up one day and you're watching the news, and we do it all the time, and all of a sudden all these different things are going on. Yeah, it could just be HAARP, or it could be something bigger than HAARP. They're fucking around with more things than HAARP and CERN that we know of, too. There's things that we don't even know of that they're doing that we can't say this is what's causing it. You know, fucking the ground's moving. People are hearing sounds of the earth moving, different things that they can't understand. There's a bunch of massive things going on that have effects of severe weather. We don't know where the fuck it's coming from. And it can't all just be HAARP or massive HAARP or super HAARP or mobile HAARP.
Well, no, we know it's not just all those things and stuff like that. I'm just trying to find out because I've done a lot of research on CERN. Again, I'm down here researching all the time, and I haven't heard of much of it being used for weather manipulation and shit.
I'm not saying that they're purposely weather, if it's doing
or doing anything
something
with weather at all, as far as anything like that. There's nothing that I've seen of where it is affecting weather at all. So that's why I'm trying to say.
There's an effect for weather every time they launch something into space. Every time something gets launched into space, it's going to affect us into space. It's going to affect our weather.
I used to think that for some reason.
What do you say?
That every time a rocket went up.
Of course it does.
Rain or something.
It's going to affect our weather.
I was in Maryland at the time. I didn't see those takeoffs anymore. I got rid of my TV.
What do you say?
I said I didn't see those things anymore after I got rid of my television.
Oh, you stopped watching? You haven't seen a rocket launch in a while?
I haven't seen a launch in a long time.
You can just look on fucking YouTube and shit on your phone or whatever and see them shits. There's video of them every other fucking day now.
Whenever they launch shit.
SpaceX is launching shit every fucking week.
Yeah, SpaceX.
SpaceX. I didn't say SpaceX. Sorry,
well, was the SpaceX no good? Now you got a SpaceX?
I'm sorry. Bummer. Me so horny, me love you long time.
Don't forget the roles of the bulk buildings. Bulk buildings? you'd have to elaborate on that a little bit. Just a comment in the chat. Sorry, folks.
Of the bulk beings? I don't know what that is.
Beings.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you could, Ebony, please elaborate a little bit. Here's my CERN. The veil opens up. The mushrooms. Hey, the veil does thin with mushrooms. Absolutely. Shit, a whole lot of shit thins when you're on mushrooms. But yeah, I'm just, again, anything is possible. That's all it is. There's just different things that they're doing, and I don't know what they're doing.
I'll look into it more. You know me.
Yeah.
I just want to know more because you said you heard this. And I've never really heard. The only thing that, again, I've ever seen anything with the weather and stuff is people see the clouds above CERN turn into what look like portals.
Now, can CERN open up portals underwater?
I don't know, because it's in the middle. It's pretty landlocked.
Yeah.
It's pretty landlocked.
Unless they got mobile CERN now.
M-CERN?
M-CERN. I don't
so
think
for it to be opening up like portals in other places and stuff around and stuff, like that's the thing, is if it's going to open up portals, it's going to be in that area and stuff is going to first be noticeable there. So, you know what I mean? That's why
so
there's a lot of people that watch CERN and stuff, not just government and stuff like that, information being put out there. There's a lot of people that got their eyes and ears on CERN from the inside and out and stuff that are putting out information. And
CERN can't like open up a portal over New York or something like that. You can only open up a portal right above it.
Yeah, it's usually, nobody's ever said that CERN's on and there's a portal opening up to anywhere else. It's usually people see these blue portal type things above CERN when it's on and operating, and it's above that area where CERN is. So now China's building one that's even bigger and shit, so we'll have to see how big those portals are. Because the portals that are usually opening up too, they're not. They might look big kind of from the cameras and shit, but they're not huge, giant. Like thinking they're mile wide portals and shit like that. You know, it might be 100 feet. You know, maybe a football size, a little smaller, half a football size portal and shit like that. But dude,
is that doing anything to our atmosphere though?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Buddy Greenberg knows. Yeah.
See, again, who knows? We doing some shit to our atmosphere.
That's what I'm
have
saying. It would be
long-term
doing
effects.
something at that point. If some crazy weather happens at that point when that thing is happening,
But when you're
it's
using
doing
that
something
much
to the
energy and you're
atmosphere.
doing something even that short term, you don't think you could have a long-term effect, though? Any possibility of having some kind of a long-term
Yeah,
effect?
but you would see something happening at that point when it's happening. You know what I mean? That's the center point of it all taking off. You're going to see it right there. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, and then felt the after effects everywhere else. Because they don't really, their weather can be kind of extreme where it is, considered to what we would think of here, but they don't have the crazy weather patterns that we do. Again, I've looked into weather patterns. There's people watch weather patterns around these places. Weather patterns, I've been looking at weather patterns since the other day when we came up with this stuff, and strange weather around the world and stuff, and that area doesn't really get where they're like, oh wow, what is this crazy big storm coming? You know what I mean? What the fuck is going on here and shit like that, you know? And they're all like, hey, there's a portal opening up. What the fuck is all this weather? And you know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying, like, this portal opening up, is it affecting the atmosphere and shit? Now when that portal opens up and shit, maybe there's a greater wave outside of it. We'd have to look at the greater scope of all the weather that's happening that single day.
Maybe we'll
way farther away. But you would think that, you know, HAARP fucking pushes the shit up, and the closest weather and shit, you can see everything move towards that center. So if this is creating a portal and doing something with the atmosphere, if we look at weather patterns of that area and stuff like that, you're going to see it doing something with the atmosphere. But it would do something around that area, because where the HAARP lifts it up, stuff happens where the HAARP is pushing that up above that area and stuff. The weather is different around that area where it's getting pushed up, right above HAARP and shit. So their weather changes and stuff like that, and everything around that's affected it. So if this portal is opening up and affecting the atmosphere, it's going to affect the atmosphere around when the portal is opening up. And with an immediate area, you know, something that's discernible, that, okay, this portal opened up, it affected this, and then the wider waves of it echoed around the earth and created all this fucking bad weather and shit like that. So you'd really have to fucking dig deep, deep, deep and be like, okay, CERN this day, portal in the sky here, this fucking strange weather here, this just. And again, there's a lot of people looking at CERN and stuff and what's happening when these portals open up and everything like that. And there's not much talk about fucking weather and shit. Even the storm even the clouds and stuff, and because that are happening that day, they're like, it's just a normal like day, like, you know, normal fucking rain clouds passing by and shit like that.
We gonna see. Next
and they
time
opened up into a portal and shit like that. Everybody's like, oh, they're having a nice day, and they're like, oh no, look, you know, they got umbrellas and stuff, and it's nothing crazy. Their umbrellas don't fly away and stuff like that. So, but
we'll find out.
Things can happen when when China goes online and they open a huge portal and we rip into another dimension, like fucking, it's a planet like fucking Jupiter.
Fringe or some shit.
We're in the middle of the eye of the big red storm. Then yeah, you can be like, yeah, CERN in that portal, and we fucking got fucked.
Or if the portal opens up and Earth 2 comes through, but it doesn't really affect us that bad because it's at range where it doesn't affect us. Like, there's a couple movies where Earth 2 is like showed up.
No, I mean, it could have been they opened up, but ripped the fucking portal too, and then again, like, that's why the Mandela effect and shit. So we're experiencing this other fucking worlds, everything like that, and we're experiencing the weather on this other world and stuff, because in the multiverse, every fucking different option and everything can be happening is happening on our Earth. There's a fucking billion, trillion, infinite number of Earths happening, and everything you could fucking possibly thinking is happening on each different fucking Earth. So whichever
we might think it's Earth 2, it might be Earth 46.
Yeah, we ever went through in the Mandela effect and why that's Bernstein Bears and it's no longer the Bernstein Bears and all this and stuff.
The city.
So the weather that was back then when it was Bernstein Bears and everything like that, and we thought it was that, and now we have this different name, it's Bernstein.
And only Shaq did.
We have their weather and shit. So now now that's elaborating on a theory and going a little bit deeper, and see, that's how I would connect the pieces on that.
And Mandela died in jail.
And you fit all those pieces together. So now we experience in all these different things, these different TV shows, these different movies, these different people, these different phrases, these different things that have happened. So maybe we're experiencing the different weather of this different place.
Yeah.
Where everything used to be this, and now everything is this now.
Yeah. See? So it's a possibility whether it's concerned, and then the Mandela effect, and then the weather. See, I was right all along. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. What?
Okay, this next question I have is, really non-related.
Don't hate me because you ain't me.
You need to look some stuff up.
You gonna look some stuff up? Good, do that.
We need to look some stuff up this weekend. But where the ley lines are centered across the Earth,
do
you think there's more activity happening in those areas?
Well, maybe depending on the energy too. We always talk about like the possibility of like where shit is built and why stuff is built to attract certain energies. The negative energy could affect.
I've looked into some of this stuff and everything, like because earthquakes and stuff, and where earthquakes happen and stuff. All this stuff that's on, for the most part, that we know about, ley lines and stuff, except for like CERN and everything like that, is dormant or not active. The pyramids, you know what I mean? We know they're on ley lines and stuff, you know, Angkor Wat, all these places around the world, these ancient sites and stuff like that. So they're on these ley lines and stuff, and there's nothing, you know, nobody's doing anything on these spots really per se and stuff like that. So now maybe when they're acting out, there's some theories and stuff, and there's some evidence that the pyramids and stuff like that, something happened, some type of explosion, and they think it happened all around the world and stuff like that with the energy grid and everything that was on the, because everything they would say, all these things were energy generators and whatever and shit, and something happened and there was an explosion, because the casing stones don't look like they were taking off of the pyramids. They look like a lot of them were blown off, because there's pieces of them just blown away, just random, just into the dirt and stuff. They didn't fall off the back of a wagon when they were supposedly stripped off and used for other purposes and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe some of them were picked up after they were blown off and repurposed and stuff, but I don't think they actually went there and said, oh, look at this magnificent fucking structure with these fucking limestone blocks. Let's take them off and build a house down the street.
Oh my gosh.
Just, you know, I mean, it's possible, but I don't see it as that plausible and stuff. So I think it was more like they were like, oh wow, look at all this shit fucking got blown up, this big thing. All right, let's fucking take it. You know what I mean? That seems like it's a little bit more plausible. So something happened on those, because a lot of all those things are built on, because the ley lines, there's main big huge ones, and then it breaks down to little ones, little ones, little ones. Your house could be on a main center point where fucking things come in together and shit like that. You never know until you break it down and stuff, because it's a grid, and it's like an infinite grid, and it's webbed over us. So
I've seen it,
yeah, that's why it's a matrix.
Yeah, well, it has a geometric pattern to it, and I kind of saw it that one time.
It's basically a 3D fucking Flower of Life. It's, you know what I mean? You take the Flower of Life. And so yeah, that I mean, if all those things were up and running and stuff, actually the Earth would be in good harmony and balance and stuff like that. We would have probably having a lot of this crazy weather and shit and stuff that we had, because when all that stuff was going on, I mean, Egyptians didn't fucking write down about all this. There's a long period where everything was good. They didn't say, oh, fucking flood today because of extreme weather and stuff, or oh, this, that. The droughts and stuff that's written in the fucking things is long after and stuff, the long periods of all this, and, you know, the rains and all this stuff. And you know, the Sumerian tablets and stuff, they don't, you know, they're literally tablets with weather and stuff on them, like sunny today.
We have a call on the call queue, actually.
All right, let's take the call.
And caller, you're alive. Hello? Caller, did you mean to press 1? Hello? How are those potato chips? They taste good? Hello?
I don't want to listen to somebody chewing in my ear, so.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your chips. That was interesting. Okay.
Well, this says Camden. I'm waiting in the host queue. Thank you for letting us listen to you if I could eating chips. And enjoyed it. I hope they were fucking organic and good for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Enjoy the rest of them.
Yeah. Don't choke. Eat slowly. It's not like you were chewing too fast. Enjoy your potato chips, brother. Peace and love to you.
All right, so back to talking about weather.
Yeah, apparently. Somebody wanted to...
Which drink do I want now?
Have some jokes tonight. Anyways, with severe weather. Wherever you live, everybody's dealing with some form of kind of severe weather, something different. I know earthquakes, droughts, wildfires, shit. Mando dope. I mean, some friends of the show, shit. They were right up there dealing with those wildfires last year. Remember that shit? That shit's scary too. Like I mean, we have small pockets of shit. How like when they have little small droughts here and stuff, of fires, but nothing that serious. Like that shit has to be extremely scary.
One time when I was going to Florida, I had to drive through an area where there was wildfires and shit, and it was like fucking. Like driving in a blizzard almost. I mean, you couldn't see because the smoke just blowing across the fucking highways and shit. I mean, we were miles away from it, but there's just smoke. And I had to drive on a stretch of highway. I don't even know how many miles it was. It's just driving through smoke.
Who gave it to you?
I gave it to you. So
sorry.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy fucking when you gotta deal with fucking wildfires and shit like that, you know? You can't see shit and fucking, you can't breathe, you know? In a blizzard, you can breathe still.
Yeah,
you can't see when you're driving in a blizzard. But you can breathe. But when you drive through all that smoke and stuff, it really sucks.
The best air.
They closed the road. They closed that stretch of highway right after I fucking got through it and shit. I find out afterwards and stuff. No, like it's too dangerous for people who's driving through there.
But you ever notice some of the best air to breathe, especially around here, is after snowfall?
Yeah, because it cleans all the shit out of the air.
Although, too, talking about like all
But it all brings it and puts it into the ground.
But have you seen, too, like, one of the things talking about weather manipulation and what they're spraying and everything, too, is there's a lot of videos right now going around of people taking, like, snow and really holding it in their hands and showing that, they're putting fire to it, and not just lighters, like big sources of fire, and it's not melting like it should do. It's, like, burning, and you can see like black smoke coming off it, and it smells like it smells like plastic and different stuff. And
so I want to do this then. Let's do that. We'll have to do this. We're gonna take this and we're gonna put it into a fucking pan that's hot enough that it will actually melt fucking plastic before we put it into that pan. Don't just put it in a pan and turn on the heat and watch it melt down and shit like that. Put it into a fucking pan that's already fucking red, fucking hot, and then put it in there and see what happens.
Yes, we'll have to test it ourselves.
Because some of these videos, I'm like,
Yeah, because some people are using like lighters and stuff, and you have to remember, I know there's snow, but I don't know, but
yeah, there's all kinds of dirt, all kinds of stuff in the fucking atmosphere and shit like that, and stuff that's fucking happening. Where did you get this fucking snow from and shit? What's around you and stuff like that? You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of stuff to play that can play effect in this, and there's ways to test it out and shit besides seeing, you know, some of these people. You can literally test it out if you got snow in your backyard and stuff. Like I said, there's one way to literally do it, is just go. Because when you take a lighter and you start burning water and stuff like that, it doesn't fucking look like it's normal melting water and shit like that a lot of times. It's going to create certain shit.
I just want to take that call to that number. I hope it's not another. I want to see who it is. Look at the best 911. That's interesting. I just want to take this caller real quick. Let's see. Hello, caller. You're live. Really? Your phone number is actually really cool, though. I'm glad you have a lot of time. Okay. That number is pretty cool. I guess somebody's got some time on their hands. All right.
Anthony Watts, what about the idea CERN was built in ancient times? What do you mean it was built in ancient times? Like, there's literally video of them building it now and stuff. Like, you can see them putting it together with, like, modern technology. There's nothing, like, ancient about it. Now, maybe the plans, they got the idea and the plans to build it from ancient times, because if you look at what a Stargate looks like and stuff like that, some of these depictions of Stargates and what we would think is a Stargate and written on walls and stuff all around these fucking ancient sites and stuff like that, maybe that's what they did. They got blueprints or something of what they, you know, would do, and using what we have today and stuff like that, they came up with it. Like that fucking movie there. What's that movie where she fucking with Jodie Foster and shit in it? What's the name?
Contact.
Yeah, like in Contact, they get these fucking blueprints from the aliens and shit, and they build this machine and shit. So maybe they fucking have blueprints that they found, because that's what a lot of this shit, why we invade all these countries and stuff. It's not about oil and fucking freeing the people and all this fucking bullshit and everything like that. We're going in there to fuck these fucking places up and take their ancient technology and shit and the ancient fucking shit that's there and hidden in all these places. If you look at every single place that there's been fucking war in the last fucking 100 years and shit that we've created, there's fucking ancient shit there. And for some reason, we like to go right to their ancient shit and protect it. So now, we could have gotten the plans for some of this stuff from some of these ancient sites and stuff to build CERN, but I don't know. I've never really heard the idea of CERN was built in ancient times. Now, again, CERN being something that can open portals, again, some of these Stargates and stuff that are around the world, again, are similar to CERN and stuff like that. So there are ancient CERN type machines, I would say. I guess I don't know if they're smashing atoms and doing what CERN exactly did, but CERN obviously does other things besides smash atoms and stuff like that, because if CERN's doing this stuff because we know we're able to find these particles, and that's the only way to find these particles is doing what they do at CERN. What else they're doing at CERN and stuff is obviously there's stuff going on, because there's video evidence of portals opening and stuff like that and whatever. So yeah, where was I going with that? I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so CERN being built in ancient times, yeah, ancient versions of CERN were built, and this is just a modern version of built. Yeah, so I guess, you know, or like I said, they could have had plans for it or something. They figured it out. They found plans in a crashed fucking spaceship. Who the fuck knows where they came up with the idea to fucking smash atoms together the way that they do in the machine this big and stuff like that. I mean, I guess they did. There are smaller ones. There's one in New York or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure it's New York. I think there's one in New York, and then there's one in fucking like Chicago or some shit like that.
Little CERNs?
Yeah, they're little CERNs. And now they're building a fucking huge one in China.
Money sells.
I mean, fucking huge one. I forget how, it's like 30 miles or some shit like that. It's fucking huge.
They're going to open, I'm telling you, man, they're going to open the portals.
Destroy this freaking planet. That's what they're going to do.
No, they just want to bring some other shit through. Or just open up so they can travel back and forth to some shit. Or maybe they're going to bring Cthulhu through.
Who knows what the fuck they want to do.
You know about Cthulhu?
Be careful what you ask for.
You know about Cthulhu? You know who Cthulhu is? Okay, I'm just saying, that's the type of shit these motherfuckers, you never know if these motherfuckers, listen, God particles and all that type of shit, recreating Big Bang theories and all that. Who the fuck knows what they really want to do or who they're doing it for? All in the name of science, right? What's science? Magic. So
they're gonna have proof of a whole bunch of stuff they didn't want to know.
Because we're gonna have a super CERN, and then after China builds one, well, we gotta build a bigger one than China. And then
they built that big, huge fucking radio telescope fucking thing that's huge. It's bigger than Arecibo. Out there looking for aliens and shit now.
I hope they find the cool ones.
China's gonna do everything bigger and better right now.
I just hope they find the cool ones. Or at least the cool ones who aren't here, and have the cool ones come here and be like, yo, can you help brothers out? And you know, do some shit about this bullshit. Because these motherfuckers keep fucking around. Although all the movies make it end bad, so maybe this is think of the opposite of the movie. This whole Paul shows up or some shit.
Smoke a joint with him.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Chill out and shit, have a good time, catch up on universal things, learn some shit. But who knows? But yeah, CERNs, harps, all this type of shit, weather modifications, fucking with our weather for whatever reason. The irony too, watching these storms, like I said again, watching that shit yesterday, I'm like 4 o'clock, it's in Bridgewater. Any hour it's gonna be here. Them motherfuckers just let it just creep and then just kind of make them go away, whatever. But there's a reason. There's always a reason behind all this shit. Anybody doesn't believe it, just look up all this shit. Cloud seeding is not anything new. They were doing that shit, I believe, back in like, what, the 50s or some shit when they first started doing that stuff. Testing stuff, and you look at the sky, you don't believe in chemtrails, you don't believe in any of this stuff we're talking about, just look it up for yourself. It's all there. We ain't making this shit
look it up. Just look at the sky and you can see chemtrails.
Yeah, again, if you think anything about the way that sky looks, those patterns and checkers and shit, and the motherfuckers playing tic-tac-toe.
Talk about chemtrails yet, so let's talk about chemtrails.
Shit. If you think them motherfuckers, if you think that shit is anything natural, if you think your sky is supposed to look like that, you're fooling yourself.
You think that, yeah, that's naturally caused by a plane and shit.
If you think, if you think planes,
just go and sit and look at the sky long enough, you can pick out the planes that are spraying, and you can pick out the planes that are going to have an actual contrail, an actual thing that happens with planes. It disappears after a while. It does not stick around in the sky and turn into a fucking cloud, spread together with all the other ones that they lace up there. They literally go back and forth and lace it like a fucking basket. Okay, watch it. I live near an airport, but I also live near an Air Force base. Where do you think those planes that are fucking doing some spraying come from? They come from that way up near the Air Force base. Then the planes that are doing natural contrails are landing and flying over the natural, you know, even if they're not landing here and stuff, flying over and shit, you can see their actual contrails, and they can have actual flight patterns. There's actual skies in the road, people, believe it or not. There's literally fucking roads in the fucking sky where these planes fly regularly on these regular routes, on these regular patterns. They might deviate a little bit sometimes here and there, fucking a little bit, go around a storm and stuff. Actually, if it's a storm, they just take another road basically and stuff. But if they get caught in something, they might blow off a little bit, you know, but they know where they are and shit basically. So there are roads in the sky, and you can watch it if you live near an airport, even if you're close enough to an airport, fucking 20 miles away, 25, 50 miles away, and you can see the planes in the sky and shit all the time. You're in an area, you know, if you're out in fucking Kansas shit, it's a lot harder because there's not a lot of planes flying around the middle country landing out there and shit. But you got to be in a more area, you know. We are in Boston and shit, and you know, there's planes flying up and down the East Coast all over this fucking area. So there's planes everywhere, and you can watch the patterns. You can see which planes are coming from where and which planes are going from where. Plus, because you can go online and you can be like, oh look, that one's coming from fucking France, and it's going to fucking upstate New York. Oh cool. All right, look at that one. Oh wow, that one's coming from. It's gonna be landing here. All right, cool. And you can see this shit. You can literally watch, and you can see which planes are landing and which planes are in the sky and where they are and stuff. And basically, you can see where this shit is happening and stuff. This is another way you can tell the Earth is flat, because you can see that there's planes that take off from fucking Sydney, Australia, and they fly to South America. Okay, on flat Earth model, if they did that, the fucking flight would be over 60 hours. But it's not. In reality, it's less than fucking 10.
You sure it's not 60? It feels like 60.
No matter how you try to explain that shit, it's not how it happens, okay? We could go and buy fucking plane tickets and do it.
Yes, but see,
I even thought about doing it just to show you.
You gonna do it? You gonna fly to show them?
I might. So...
enjoy your 60-hour trip.
So you can tell these planes that are up there, and you can see these planes that are different. They're flying at different altitudes and stuff like that. They're, you know what I mean? They're lower and stuff. Once a plane takes off from an airport, it gets up to cruising altitude. It's pretty high up there and stuff. The planes that are spraying and stuff are a little bit lower than that and stuff. And they're spraying shit out, and you can see it. It leaves a long trail and stuff. At first, it looks like it's a regular plane, but then the back of it, you can see them sometimes start spraying in the middle of the air. They get up to where they want to go, and they're like, shh. And then all of a sudden, it's got a regular contrail, and then it's sudden, shh. It just starts fucking spraying. And it's spraying, and then when that point starts, just watch it. It's like normal contrail coming out, but then it just starts to blow up. And the whole thing slowly throughout the days. It takes hours and hours. I'm going to try and do some time-lapse and stuff this summer and everything like that and get some of that shit just so people can see it, because I am right near the airport and I'm going to document. Because then there's people like, well, it depends on the contrail and the temperatures and everything like that and stuff like, you know, the one day it could be like that and then that's, you know, it couldn't be because of the different temperatures. No, that's bullshit, because I'll do it and I'll show you that it's 80 degrees today. It's 80 degrees today. It's this wind temperature today. It's this wind temperature. I'll even show you upper atmosphere fucking temperatures and shit like that. It has nothing to fucking do with that shit. Nothing to do with that. Normal exhaust coming off of fucking air, because it's not even exhaust or anything like that. It's fucking air that's creating it and shit like that. It gets fucking super hot and it comes out and it hits the cold air and stuff and it creates a little fucking cloud just like you do when you're breathing. And that disappears. Never in your fucking life, no matter what, ever, have you ever breathed out of your fucking mouth and it turned into a fucking cloud and covered the fucking area you were in. Ever. Never. That's the same thing that's coming off of a fucking contrail of a plane. It's the same concept. It's the same thing. It's the fucking same stuff coming at you. It's your fucking warm air coming out of the back of that fucking, the jet of that fucking plane, and it's hitting the cold air up of the fucking upper atmospheres and shit, because it's cold up there. It's fucking colder up there. So it's doing the same thing. So it makes a little cloud, and then that cloud dissipates. It doesn't turn into a fucking, I'm talking a little cloud. It doesn't fucking spread out and turn the fucking sky gray and block out the fucking sun and
get
shit.
bigger, connect with other bigger clouds.
Connect with the other ones that they're spraying around because they fucking see it. And it's depending on what area you're in, you can see areas where they turn around and they make the loop to come back to make it. And they make these big loops. And then the next time, then once they make it that way, they start going this way. And you can see these fucking patterns everywhere. Sometimes they get crazy and there'll be two of them up there and they'll fucking be doing daredevil shit.
Yeah.
Shit that planes are not allowed to do. If you know anything about flying, you go look at FAA guidelines and shit like that. Anything to do with flying, these planes are not supposed to be this close and doing the fucking things that they're doing. They fly in fucking X's. Coming fucking way too close to each other and shit. Doing fucking stuff they're not allowed to be doing. You don't hear about that shit on the news, but some guy goes a little bit off a fucking pattern and shit flying over the Red Sox opening day and stuff, and people be freaking the fuck out and stuff. But two planes, then this shit happens all the time. I mean, me and him, we send pictures and shit all the time. Look, these two planes are going to crash, but they don't. We know they're not going, and we're just fucking, you know, I look at them, and you can see them. They go just like that, and they make X's. And then they go and make a loop around, and they come back, and they make another X. And you, look at these motherfuckers. And it's the same planes and shit. You can get out fucking telescopes and fucking lenses, and you look at the planes and be like, yep, it's not commercial airlines. They kind of look like commercial airlines. They're big ass fucking planes because they gotta have a lot of fucking chemicals on them and just fucking spray. It's the same concept, and people are like, well, that's how's it spread out and do that shit with a fucking plane in of so much of an area. Well, have you ever seen a fucking Raid roach bomb? It's a little tiny fucking can. It's like the size of a fucking Red Bull can. What happens when you fucking open that fogger can, that little fucking tiny can? It fogs up the whole fucking shit for fucking hours and hours and hours. It sprays out a nice little thing. It goes, and it goes, and it fucking covers everything. It's the same thing they're doing with the fucking planes. And some of it's for weather modification, to control and manipulate the weather and shit. And the other reason why, because they're spraying us like fucking roaches.
Yeah. Raid bombs in the sky, motherfuckers.
Oh my god.
There ain't no other fucking way to put it. They are fucking spraying us with fucking roaches. The fucking shit, they shouldn't be fucking spraying anything up in the fucking air to do anything with that shit. Spraying any type of fucking chemicals. Barium, fucking lithium, fucking, I forget all the fucking, all the different shit that they're spraying. It's, you shouldn't be spraying that. Then there's the shit and the theories that they're spraying fucking nanites and fucking nanobots and shit out there, little nano dust, nano chips and fucking dust.
They're doing that during certain surgeries,
so that we're breathing all that shit in, and it's all in our blood, and it's all in our veins and our bloodstreams and shit, because it's in the water and it's in everything we eat, and we're drinking it in and shit. And one day they're just gonna flip a fucking switch. Like in that movie with Johnny Depp, he uploads the shit and his fucking little nanobots, and they can control the weather and shit, because this shit's in the air and the atmosphere everywhere and shit. That's another way they're probably manipulating the weather. They got all these little nano fucking bots and shit just floating around in the fucking air and shit. And they charge them up and they fucking come together in the fucking giant clouds and shit. Or they release nanobots. That's how they cloud seed during the fucking storm and shit. And they release these fucking little nanobots out, and they fucking create the weather, and it turns it into a fucking big giant fucking storm, and it bombs out. Bombogenesis.
These are superstorms. Shit, you remember the perfect storm? And then they've grown from that one. It was the perfect storm.
Yeah, that back then, that's what it was like. Okay, they had your normal little storms and shit, and then along comes every once in a great while, you have your fucking perfect storm, which was big, and that was a big storm. It maybe went down to the Carolinas from off the coast here down to Carolina, good sized storm, but now like every fucking storm goes from Florida to Maine.
Everything. It's doing a tour.
There's been storms that stretch from fucking Colorado all the way across the fucking to Maine.
Yeah.
Up to here and shit.
They're doing tours.
All the fucking time.
Storm tours. Doing the state. They got to hit every state. Trying to make sure every state gets covered, yo. You know what I'm saying?
And the stuff where the real crazy stuff happens is in the fucking areas that are heavily populated.
Of course.
It's not, it's not people out in fucking Iowa and fucking... in the middle of Texas, in the middle where there's nothing around and shit that this is happening to, in the middle of Oklahoma, these places. Nebraska. When the fuck should you ever heard of fucking some crazy extreme fucking out of fucking ordinary shit happening in fucking Nebraska? Nothing. They get their normal fucking weather or year-round weather and shit a little bit off, here, there, because of fucking maybe global warming, but never does a freak fucking crazy storm fucking come and hit fucking Nebraska and fucking level the whole fucking... They'd have to level the whole state for it to be really fucking damaging there, because, everybody's so spread out there. You know what I mean? So it doesn't happen like that. The storm passes over there and they build it up and then bam, it hits the fucking East Coast, Chicago fucking, and it comes across that way and it hits all the major shit, Detroit, Chicago, fucking, Cleveland and shit like that, all the way across fucking New York, fucking Maine. Or they come up the fucking coast and shit. They will come up across fucking Texas, all along all the coastal places in Texas and fucking New Orleans and shit, and fucking hit Florida, Georgia and shit, all up the East Coast. They ride up the East Coast and shit like that. Storms come in from fucking on the West Coast and shit. When they come and they send them across to the way they send them across the fucking country, and they build up fucking pressure and shit. That's why they stretch so far and shit. They're fucking literally taking the shit from the fucking Pacific Ocean and they push it. You can watch fucking satellite views and stuff from the fucking sky and watching shit and see what's happening and stuff. And then you can go down and you can see where they're fucking doing shit with chemtrails and stuff like that. All kinds of shit. These are all live fucking government satellites too, that you can actually go and see this shit and look on this shit, and you go and see, look at live weather maps and live weather shit that's going on and everything. Everybody out there watching, you can go and get live satellite weather fucking views and shit of the weather that's going on in your area and shit. And you can literally pick up chemtrails and shit and see that there's a fucking checkerboard over there, and you can see the regular clouds that are flying in between it and shit. You can tell a chemtrail fucking cloud from a regular cloud and shit.
You can see it for yourself. Just saying.
Know the difference.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're looking at the clouds, you're like, oh, look at the clouds in this sunset. No, is it a chem set? or is it actually a nice fucking sunset with some clouds and shit?
Listen again. Listen, you two. I don't know if you remember the sky.
Is that a
didn't
rainbow
look the
or is
same
that a
when we were younger.
chembo?
Yeah, exactly. It's a double rainbow, man. Look.
Because there's a big difference. You could tell the difference if it's an actual rainbow or if it's
Ain't
actual
no pot of gold
fucking
at the
rainbow, because of the
chembos.
chemicals that are in the fucking air and shit.
Just saying. Shit is different. The sky didn't look the same
And
when
that's
I was
what they're
younger.
doing. Even if they fucking don't have HAARP and all that shit, whatever they're doing into the sky and all that fucking pollution and everything that we're doing to the planet and shit like that on a fucking daily, hourly, minute fucking basis and shit like that, it's changing the atmosphere and the weather and shit like that too. So even they can just go up and put more fucking shit in the air. Maybe they're just fucking spraying fucking CO2 up in the air and shit, trying to raise the fucking temperatures and global warming and shit. All they gotta do is raise the fucking temperatures a few degrees and shit to get the ice caps and shit to melt and wipe out fucking all the populations along the fucking coast, which is the majority of the population, because we love to live near the fucking
90
beach.
seconds.
All right, so for whom the bell tolls, as you heard, 90 seconds. If anybody who's listening on Blog Talk, if you're not in the call queue, will not hear the remainder of the show. If you want to hear the remainder of the show, you got to head on over to YouTube, where we will still be live during the last blunt segment, which is being rolled right now, even though we got smoking one. I don't know if everybody did a blunt count tonight. But so if you're not, come back next week. Tell a friend, be a friend. If you want to check out the rest of the show at any point, if you miss any of it, all of our shows are archived on YouTube and on our
60
website.
seconds.
Just go to our website and click on it. So peace and love to you. But everybody else, keep riding out. You ain't gonna go nowhere. We can keep talking. We can keep going. The chat is definitely live on YouTube too. So again, great place to go head over to, and you can see what the fuck we're doing. You can see us smoke a bunch of weed. Anybody do the blunt count tonight? Where's Jay at? Jay, what's the blunt count so far? He usually keeps the count. It's gonna be worth something one day. You're gonna keep that blunt count and win some prizes. You're gonna win metaphor. She's gonna come clean your house for 3 weeks.
Bullshit.
What? Oh, you said 3 days. Sorry, for 3 days she'll clean your house. So get that blunt count down. What else? You wash a car, maybe too?
I'll wash it and drive it.
Oh, so she'll wash and drive your car to make sure that it's running right.
10
there you go.
seconds.
So peace and love to everybody on Blog Talk. See you next week. But everybody on YouTube, you know how we do. We keep it riding out. Hope you guys enjoying yourselves. I don't know who that person was who called in and gave us a moment of fun. It's kind of funny. Chips, and then what was that song? Is that a remix of some shit? Maybe he made a song just for us.
What?
The guy that called in to clown us, maybe he made a song just for us. No? Okay. Apparently you didn't hear him. What'd you say?
You never know.
Whatever. Good to him. Whatever way. But yeah, folks. So we know severe weather everywhere. We've all been dealing with it. We all go through it. Who's doing it? Why they're doing it? There's definitely some gains. There's definitely some means. Definitely helps with the numbers. It helps with the little number crunches and shit. People running out, freaking out. We know the weather's going to change.
We know why they're doing it. You control the weather. You're God.
Yeah. Fair to say.
You can make earthquakes. You can make fucking hurricanes and stuff. Again, it's fear. They're driving people with fear. Again, they like talking. This is talking up. This is a nor'easter, and it wasn't as bad as the other ones in the stores either. Like I think a lot of people are just like, okay, I'm already ready or whatever and shit, whatever. But people run out and they fucking flood the stores and shit, and they're buying all the shit that they know they don't need, but they're spending all that money, and people are making money somewhere, somehow. So part of it's money, and it's a fear thing. If you're always feared and you're wondering, worrying, oh, now I got to get this insurance. I need to make sure I got this type of insurance and this type of insurance.
Does anybody have zombie? Does anybody have zombie insurance? Actually,
I don't know.
Anybody know? Anybody in the chat have zombie insurance? Just wondered.
But yeah, you know, then they're getting insurances, so they're, you know, oh, there's all these storms and stuff. I gotta fucking buy, you know, fucking do this to my house and do that, and fucking they're coming out with these new things and make it safer and whatever and
upgrade. Meanwhile, there's fucking roads and houses and structures that have been sitting for fucking forever. That if they just built the shit like that, they wouldn't have these fucking problems. But they just subpar build shit, so they don't give a fuck. And again, they just keep throwing shit up everywhere. Perfect example is our seaport here. That whole fucking beautiful seaport. They're building all that shit over there, and every time there's all these storms down, there's all that flooding and all that shit going on for all that expensive ass property. These motherfuckers don't care. They just keep building it everywhere. And the fucking thing is, everything that's getting closer to the water, like all that shit's not gonna be there soon anyways. Like that shit is being washed away. So good luck with all that fucking living by the water shit. I know it's a beautiful view, but that shit is...
Yeah, they're talking about building these fucking walls and shit. These walls, they're gonna cost fucking billions of dollars now. Today's money and shit like that. These fucking seawalls and shit out there to fucking protect all the fucking shit down there that they're fucking trying to build and everything like that. You know? Just everybody stop fucking living so close to the beach. Like these people that fucking live out on the Cape and shit, they fucking gotta worry if their house is gonna get swallowed up by a fucking storm every time. What did you think was gonna happen when you moved right next to the beach? Did you think it was magically gonna stop fucking like having storms and shit like that? The ocean wasn't gonna come near your house and shit like that? You're gonna sit there and you're gonna complain about this? Oh, I can't believe another storm's coming. I gotta fucking put up sandbags. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Oh my god. When is it ever gonna end?
I will say,
when you move.
I will say though, the smartest person I've ever seen during any of these hurricanes, any storms, was I think the dude was in Texas, and he bought these. I don't know if they're like these buoys or some shit, and you actually fill them full of water, and he had them just high enough, whatever the flood surge was, that his house was not touched by a drop of water. And they called him an idiot when he ordered this shit. They were like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, you're going to look so stupid. And he was the only person in his neighborhood and in that area whose house was completely untouched by a drop of water. Because the flood surge, he either had 9 foot, maybe they were 9 foot. I'm just, you know, I don't remember exactly what the foot, but these buoys was around it. It looked like a moat almost was around the castle. like how someone would build a moat, but obviously a moat has, you know, some that have water in the house. But this was just literally like his house was untouched. I saw him, I was amazed, and they all called him an idiot, but that was a smart person. But he was the only person who thought ahead. But most of these people don't think, like when they buy these houses and shit, like, oh yeah, it's never nothing. You watch beach erosion, all that type of stuff. Like these shits are just being swept away little by little.
And then the money that they spend to save these fucking houses, like here in Winthrop, dude. All that shit that they've done recently, fucking doing building that wall and stuff and everything, fucking spending so much, been working on it for years and years and years to save some houses over there and shit, so that if a big enough storm, because it's got to be a big fucking storm to get over the old seawalls and shit that they had there and all the fucking protection they had already that they spent a shitload of money on, but they're just in case. They spend and build this fucking new bigger seawall and shit like that in case the big storm comes and shit like that and everything. It's just another way to get money. There's just all the protection they're doing everywhere, just driving to fucking money, and that's why they make these storms. And the weather is getting worse and worse because they know people are gonna freak out about the weather. Oh no, what's gonna happen? What are we gonna do? You know, all the new houses and shit in Florida have to be built to the hurricane standard, the hurricane code and shit like that. And fucking, it's expensive. It's expensive. And now, granted, these houses are a lot safer and stuff, but it's no guarantee that your house is going to be 100% fucking safe during a fucking hurricane. Nope. No matter what you're doing and shit. Yeah, it increases your chances and shit like that, but everybody has to do it this way and everything like that. And it's fucking ridiculous. But if you just want to have a fucking regular old house and shit, and if it blows away during a hurricane, hey, that's my fault for fucking living where there's hurricanes, right?
Buddy Greenberg.
Fucking take it as it come, you know what I mean? Or if you got, you know, if you can build a house like that, build it. But I mean, forcing everybody to fucking build a house like that, they want to fucking live there and shit, and up to these fucking codes and standards and shit. It's the same thing with everything. They're doing that with. That's how fucking the construction costs fucking continuously rise and rise and rise when it shouldn't fucking be so outrageous. Is because they fucking keep coming up with all these fucking safety things and things that you got to do, and you got to fucking have it this way and this way and this way, and it's got to cost this much more money and everything to do it and shit. Everywhere you go and stuff, all the fucking, it's just ridiculous and shit, you know, all the safety stuff. Oh, one person dies, so the whole entire country has to fucking do this fucking thing, which costs each job fucking thousands and thousands of jobs more. Just because one guy was fucking probably hung over and shit, and he slipped and fell with something being stupid or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just stupid shit like that, and then they use it because some guy sees that as an opportunity. He's like, hey, well, he's in the fucking politician. He's like, well, my brother-in-law, he's got this fucking company that's kind of struggling. It's got this thing that, you know, it could save everybody. You know what I mean? Same thing with fucking hurricane fucking shit like that. The politicians in Florida and shit, they know people in the fucking heart building this shit and doing this shit and everything like that. You don't think they're like, well, hey, we can make some hurricane this shit and fucking business would be really fucking good for you, huh? Some of that money that you make when businesses gets really good for you and everything, you know where it goes. And then they're like, yep, we know where it goes. And then the politicians is like, hey, make it happen. Make it rain.
Make it rain them hoes.
Make it rain. And we'll make it rain. But shit like that, you know.
It's big business.
It's business and shit. It's all fear and stuff. And again, because that fear that they generate, that fear, everybody's fucking afraid of what's going to happen. Oh, no, bad weather's coming. Oh, no, what are we going to do? It's going to rain. It's going to snow. You know, some of the stuff you can worry about. Fucking tornadoes and shit sometimes is a little bit fucking scarier and stuff like that. But those are really hit and miss. So that's just a complete gamble altogether in there and shit. With the more extreme shit like that, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's the energy that shit generates, so that people know that a hurricane's coming or a fucking blizzard's coming and shit like that, or a fucking wildfire even, because some of these wildfires, we don't even really get into wildfires and shit. If you look at these wildfires that have been happening and stuff like that, when does a fucking wildfire burn all the fucking houses and stuff like that, and the cars and shit like that, but it don't burn the trees in between the houses? Or the bushes? Real sporadic fucking fires and shit like that. It's really fucking weird. And you go and look at this stuff like that, it looks like somebody sat in fucking space with a fucking, like one of them giant heat fucking guns or a fucking a magnifying glass and went It does. A lot of it. It looks like a fucking line. And like somebody just playing with fucking ants and a little fucking ants out there. And they're like, you look in the grass and it's got all these lines burned through it and shit like that. You know, but I mean, these are big areas and stuff like that. And it's strange shit. Like, how does it, you know what I mean? I know fire can move in some strange ways and shit, but I mean, this is a
it's the wind.
Strong
and then
enough
the wind
fire to
turned
literally burn down a house. But it doesn't even, the trees, they're not even singed enough. I know the tree's alive and it's got moisture in it. It's supposed some moisture, I guess. They must be water because it's in a drought area. Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of strange shit. You know, some houses burned and then the house right in between didn't burn. This house, all the houses around, but this house in the middle didn't burn.
He was on a good list.
A lot of weird shit.
Yes. See? We know why they're doing it. Clearing shit out, moving shit in. Clearing shit out, not moving shit in.
You know, they got fucking, we know that they got fucking laser defense systems, satellites and shit like that can fucking shoot missiles and stuff down with lasers and stuff. What, you know what lasers can do?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You can get some lasers that can do some fucking damage at a fucking dollar store. You can do some real fucking cool shit with those lasers if you know what you're doing. Those little pointer lasers and shit like that. I'm not going to tell you all how to do it, but you can do some cool stuff with some lasers. So just think of what you could do with a fucking laser in space that's supposedly, oh yeah, we're sending this stuff up. It's safety. Another thing they tell you, if you got to be afraid of some missiles coming over here and fucking hit you and shit. In Kansas, again. Why the fuck is it gonna fucking do anything in Kansas? Nebraska, the fuck these people were there. Yeah, put them satellites up there. I don't want to get hit by no missiles. Korea lucky if they're gonna hit Hawaii. Even Russia's, you know, pushing maybe Colorado.
Sorry, guys.
But, you know, not to be joking around about that shit or anything. So they got lasers that we know that they got lasers up there. They got this shit, there's missile defense systems and shit like that. So who's to say that they can't fucking be fucking? Even the guy that set off the alert in fucking Hawaii on accident, some guy up there with the, you know, they were doing a little test on the laser and shit. It was supposed to be pointing in space. He hit the joystick and was like, and it fucking just went, just started this huge fucking wildfire.
Who knows?
Or maybe that's just an area where they're like, well, we want to get all these fucking people out of here because we want to build some new shit.
Well,
and so they're like, oh, there's no missiles being launched right now, right? Point that satellite right there.
Hey, even those areas, some of those grow areas and stuff too. If you wanted to fucking try to run those people out and then buy that land, then take over that land and grow yourselves. Do
Exactly.
some shit. Nice way to do it.
Get the people out.
Yep. Don't sleep on those motherfuckers. Not at all.
Do it. Do it.
I don't know, folks. I hope you're not going
Crazy
through
shit.
severe weather. Hopefully our weather's about to change. It's going to be warm. You'll see a lot more of us. We'll be doing more.
What do you mean hoping? You know it's going to get warm here at some point. It's going to get cold again. It's bound to happen. When it's going to happen? But it will.
I know.
And I'm not hoping.
I'm just eager for us to get out there and do things. And go to Vermont and do different things. Aren't you guys eager?
Yeah.
Aren't you watching? Aren't you folks watching? Wouldn't you like to see us?
Now, when it happens, it happens. If it's happening, it's happening. If it's nice out, it's nice out now. If it's not, it's not. Well, it's nice out now too.
Yeah, it is.
Always now.
That dusting and snow is nothing.
I'm not waiting for it to be nice because it will be nice when it's now.
Well, now nice. It'll be nice now.
Yeah.
Did anybody?
When it's nice, it will be now.
Does anybody what? If you're gonna say something, speak into the mic, woman.
Yeah.
Speak into the mic.
I'll just ask you. Somebody just sent me an ad right quick. Top Gear NASA makes their own rain clouds from hydrogen.
Yeah, you can do. There's all kinds of stuff that they can do with making clouds and everything like that.
Shit, we were. What was that company we were looking at? Watching a little video
Look
about.
at, if you can. I don't know if you guys can see it, and yeah, you guys might
Weather,
be able to
with the
look
weather
over by
tech?
the TV right here. You can see the cloud in here. We're making clouds in here right now. We're manipulating fucking weather and shit right now. I'm putting big clouds up there in the air. But no, there's other ways. Yeah, you can make rain clouds and stuff in a room and everything like that. Have you ever seen the 3D music fucking laser thing? It's a 3D hologram fucking music fucking box thing, and it fucking projects this 3D hologram that fucking moves to the music and shit like that. So they literally make a cloud of mist in the room to do it and everything like that. That's how the lasers and stuff hit it, and it reflects off the little fucking fine mist and shit of the fucking cloud that they make in the room. It's like a fog. So, you know, there's all kinds of ways you can make fucking clouds every day and do that. So that's just in many ways. I mean, you could go and look at, I don't know all the patent numbers and shit off the top of my head, but you can go and look in this fucking websites that will tell you, and you can go and look at the fucking patent website and stuff at these patterns, and there is literally patterns you can see for.
It's patent number 774321-A7234.
Yeah, he's got that shit. So, but they're patterns for chemtrails, or how to make fucking rain clouds, or how to fucking create earthquakes and shit. Tesla fucking had his fucking machine and stuff that fucking made buildings shake and everything like that by changing the frequencies and stuff like that. So we know that they have the patterns, and they're owned by the U.S. government and stuff like that, or fucking really shady companies. So you gotta fucking think about that. Okay, they have these patterns and everything, but they're not doing anything with them. They're just, oh yeah, we came up with this stuff, and then we decided, yeah, it's just better not to do anything with it.
Yeah.
We spent all that time and that money and everything, and then we were like, yeah, well, you know, no, we don't need to do that. Yeah, that's bullshit. You know they're fucking doing that shit. You know that they're using this shit that they're coming up with. They have all kinds of fucking shit that they can fucking do and say and be and everything like that.
Yeah. He ain't never lied. Why would they use it though? And then why wouldn't they make it rain in places and stuff like California and Southern California thing? It would be so helpful. I mean, if they had that technology, they would use it for the better good, and we would all be benefit from it.
Because the wrong people have that technology. If you think Agent Orange is here for good, you got a bad orange. Unfortunately, as much as I'm all about peace and love and spreading that shit, we got to spread that shit. We got to get people to be more about that, because not everybody is all about peace and love, and there are some bad people in the world, unfortunately. And as much as I don't like to say that and stuff, you know what I mean? There's some people. There's no bad people in this world. There's people doing bad things.
They're doing bad shit.
They're doing bad things. You know what I mean?
We have to embrace with peace and love.
There's no good. There's people. There's no bad people. There's people who do good things. There's people who do bad things and stuff. So you gotta, realize, and I'm sure a lot of you guys listening and watching and everything like that, or who will be watching this, you know what it's like when you get a little bit of money at some point in your life and stuff, and the way that ego takes over and the power you feel, whatever, of having money in your stuff. Even if it's not millions and millions of dollars, but you just get fucking paid on one fucking day, and it's a good day, you got a bonus and shit, and you're like, yeah, I am fucking king, and you got everything's fucking on point, and they do just that little bit of money, you know what I mean? So now imagine these people that have fucking just taken over companies left and right, and fucking families that have fucking had money for generations and generations. A fucking whole family that fucking queen and fucking owns all this fucking shit, and you gotta do all this shit just because she's the fucking queen. What the fuck is that bullshit? So there's fucking some serious fucked up fucking shit going on in this world, and we need to make that shit change. We need to fucking get these people to stop. Yeah, that technology can be used for good. We can make it rain in places where it should be raining right now, where it's not raining and stuff like that. We can make it stop raining in places where it's raining too much and everything like that, where it shouldn't be raining as much. We could do that shit, good shit, but we gotta just, those people that are on the dark side, we need to let them see the light. We need to get them to stop doing the bad things and shit and come into the light. Come into the light.
Go into the light. Uh-oh, Meta's about to transform. Sorry.
3:22. 3 hours and 22 minutes on the show on 3:22. So yeah, so that you know, that's why people are doing these things. There's a lot of reasons, whether it's money, whether it's because these people are energy vampires, and it's just the fear and shit. Just look at how people just freak out over fucking, could it be a storm? Just not even, the storm's not even here. Just look how fucking freaked out and how much fear comes across the area where the storm could be, and it could happen, and then when it's happening and shit like that. So, and if there's fucking energy vampires or energy people that feed off of that fucking negative energy and shit, which we know that there are, unfortunately, things like that out there and shit. So
it's out there.
It's out there.
They're out
Anything's
there.
possible. Everything is possible. How possible is it? That's the thing.
Warning. Self-destruct sequence activated.
The last blunt.
The last one's being lit.
It's being lit. So
who's smoking?
Here we are. So light up. If you're still here with us, roll it up. Light it up. This is gonna be the last one.
Smoke weed every day.
Who's lighting up a blunt? Nobody? Anybody on psychedelics? Anything? No? Cool.
It's just insane. Just to think of the possibilities of everything that they have and everything that they could be doing. And HAARP is something, again, HAARP, we know about it. We've known about it for a long time. So how long have they been doing something else? Before that HAARP even came out, what were they doing before that? We know they were smaller and shit like that. So they always, you know, they're not just going to give up on that shit and move to something else.
But see that company we were watching? It was a WeatherTech that had the fucking things with the pyramids, the top, literally using pyramids at the top to try to shoot ions into the atmosphere to create rain and shit. And then they were like saying these other things that supposedly didn't exist, literally within their own verbiage, did exist, and that they were copying it or trying to do better versions of it.
They have all kinds of shit. They're fucking... how they're making it snow and shit right now, when it shouldn't fucking be having the pattern, in the weather pattern that we have. Yeah, once in a while it could snow fucking in March and here and shit, but to be in the weather pattern that we are and shit,
sometimes
it could snow all the way into June here. But
April Fool's Day. We had an April Fool's Day storm. Wasn't it a storm?
yeah, we had the April Fool's storm, but it snowed in June before and stuff too. But to be in a pattern like this and stuff, where you get in the cold air like this and stuff, they're pushing. You can see it when you watch again, when you go and watch these patterns and stuff, and you look at the satellite views, not just like what they show on the news for your local area and stuff. You got to go and look at the fucking, you know, you could even just go to the Weather Channel and look at the fucking whole national fucking radar and look at what's happening. You can see all of a sudden something happens and the shit changes in an unusual way. Because if you watch the shit enough and watch it enough and shit, you can see something that's abnormal and stuff, and then you're like, what's going on there? Why is this shifting like that when it shouldn't be shifting like that and everything like that, according to everything that's known and the way that things should be, unless somebody is manipulating it in one way or another.
Jay said, are we done smoking?
Oh, we're smoking the last
Rookie.
one now because he said his shit's buffering.
Oh, it's buffering?
No, his is.
Oh, his is.
Ours isn't.
Sorry, sir. Well, now you know. The last blunt. We at least let you know when the last blunt gets smoked. You know, we try to warn you. And see
how many were smoked before that. We didn't let you know how many to do that.
Yeah, sorry. Well, he said he came late.
He's gonna guess. So he came late. He'll guess.
One day he'll be here.
What's up, Kara? What's going on?
Hey, Kara.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're kind of catching us
a little
near
late.
the
You'll
end.
have to go watch because it will be posted up once we're done.
Yeah.
You can watch the other shows. We got some other on here. You can also listen on iTunes and on Google Play.
Our website.
Soon we'll be coming to Spotify and all that shit.
And if you subscribe, you know, we do smoke sessions before our normal Thursday night broadcast. So you subscribe too. See?
Yeah, we always doing something.
Where you from though? Where you from? How'd you find us? What are you into? We're kind of we were talking about severe weather. Again, we're at the end of it, so we talk about everything around here: ghosts, aliens, conspiracy theories, UFOs, demons, angels, near-death experiences. We talk about it all. So I hope if you ride out to the end and just kind of don't understand what goes on, you can come back and check us out and understand everything that goes on. So peace and love to you. Yes, folks. I'm so glad I didn't have to shovel snow today, though. That was nice. My knee is kind of almost 100% from my battle with the intergalactic aliens. I don't remember that night in my sleep. So, you know,
My feet keep growing.
Your feet keep growing?
Yeah.
Well, you keep growing your whole entire life. Your bones never stop growing.
What you got, like a size 12 now or some shit?
Yeah.
You got some big ass, like,
some areas
floppy
can have
clown feet?
Growth spurts more than others and stuff like that. Could be.
Everett, Washington, cool.
Some crazy weather there sometimes.
Everett, Washington, I know him.
Did you go to high school with him? Did you play basketball with him?
Word.
Wow, she's on the other side, completely on the other side of the country from us. Peace and love to you.
She gets the start of the weather sometimes. She sees it at the beginning, and then we get the end product of it. And again, like I said, what it starts out as over there, it's nothing compared to what it's over here usually. It's like they fucking started off over there, and they push it across the fucking country.
Well, yes, you will definitely see cannabis on our live stream, psychedelics, all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, we smoke a lot of blunts on the show. Try and keep up with us. Try and see if you can smoke as many as we do during the show and stuff, or as many bowls, joints, whatever you smoke.
Tonight, if you would have had the count, you would have won metaphor. But
and we talk a lot about psychedelics.
Count.
We haven't really used psychedelics on the live stream yet, but I think we're going to be doing that real soon.
She had on the live broadcast the DMT experience, but
we didn't
the
live
DMT
stream on a live radio show, but not a live broadcast. But I think you guys are gonna see us doing some mushrooms, or at least a little while of it. We'll broadcast a little while doing something of it, because we do, kind of thing, where there's not much for you guys. You guys wouldn't really see much of it and shit, and I would have to change camera batteries and shit in the middle of it. So there's some point during a trip coming up, you guys will see some of the tripping and what's going on and stuff. Maybe we'll let you see a little bit of what we do, the kind of the way that we journey in the ceremony, what we do and shit. But
yeah, be a part of it.
It's kind of, again, it's not a lot to see because we're basically just sitting here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're working on a way that people will be able to see what we're actually seeing when we're tripping and shit.
Yeah.
That would be fucking cool.
Yeah. That'd be cool as shit.
Might take a little while, and it might take a Patreon account, but
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm a fire in my laser.
Buddy.
You sure it's not you, Jay? Because our stuff is over here is saying we're all good.
Are we buffering for anybody else?
Anybody else seeing any buffering? That's
or is
still
Jay
off
having severe weather and it's affecting his...
Maybe it's a solar flare. We didn't even get into solar flares.
Oh,
I mean, we can talk about it now. I mean, solar flares and stuff, a type of weather and shit. And
affecting shit here on Earth. Yeah, He's just, it's two different ones are. That's me there, but he's looking at the other one. I can't tell.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's buffering too bad.
The audio is nice and clear, but is the visuals
is
clear? Are you seeing us? I don't know if she's seeing us in real time, but I don't know. Sorry, Jay.
Video's buffering a little bit. I don't know. Our stream's showing that it's coming in. We're streaming good. I don't know why it's buffering so much right now. Maybe the video, but at least you guys can hear us, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna just watch everything.
We don't have our tech guy. Wiz isn't here right now, so I don't know why it's buffering, because everything on our end here, like I said, is looking good. We're streaming in the green here and stuff. Usually it's shows the video buffering when we drop into the yellow and the red, but we haven't
I'm also
dropped.
I'll end it on Blog Talk anyway, so it's gonna end soon anyway. So everybody on Blog Talk, peace and love. See if that helps. Shut something down. So Jay, hang out with us.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Peace and love, girlfriend. Alright. We'll start there. We're still here. Alright, Jay, see what I'm doing for you? You're making me work here, kid.
So, solar flares. Now, those are real things, but again, now, could they be shooting out fucking stuff from a fucking satellite and stuff, saying, oh, it's just a solar flare? Well, it could be solar flares coming.
See? Fucking with
And solar flares, if it's a strong enough one and it gets enough through, it could be like an EMP, and it can literally shut down everything electronic and shit like that. Now, they could fucking say, oh, it was a solar flare, Or they could have something that fucking is like an EMP and it would fucking shut down everything, putting fucking a country, a fucking city, a fucking area back into the Stone Age.
Nobody should have that much.
Just like that, and they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it was the sun."
Yeah. The sun did it. Sorry, you motherfuckers won't recover. And it's Red Dawn, the new version.
Where I had to, figure out how to survive.
What, if a solar flare happened?
Without modern technology.
Yeah, but you've done it before. You could. You would adapt easily. With some people,
where a lot of these younger kids that have been born and raised on that shit, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck do I do? How do I eat? What am I gonna do?
Google Maps. Can you tell me how to get the fuck out of here?
Where's the phone?
My debit card isn't working. What the fuck? McDonald's is closed. The car shut down. Everything's done. Uber? There's no Uber to pick me up. They don't even have cars. There's no Uber. The smartest ones are the motherfuckers with the bicycles. Told you my escape route was the bicycle. Bicycle shop. I'm telling you. See? All the motherfuckers on the bicycles, they've been the ones getting them fucking way. Everybody else gonna be sitting there trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Can't navigate, can't do anything. Don't know what a fucking North Star is. Doesn't know where the sun rises, sets. They can't do shit.
Don't know nothing. That's why y'all need to be doing research and looking and learning how to survive. Start there, and then go out in the fucking woods and survive. Go out in the woods for the weekend. Go camping and stuff. Sure, some of you doing shit like that, but that's what y'all need to do. Learn how to survive on your own. Grow your own food. Find your own food. Don't fuck growing, because it takes a while to grow food. You're gonna need to forage for food and find food first.
Yeah.
Hope you like plants.
Yeah.
Hope you like plants.
And all these people trying to hunt some shit. Good luck.
Hey, good luck. See how that squirrel tastes after you. Good luck catching it. You fucking killing it first.
Oh, they're all gonna become fishermen real quick.
You gotta, but then again, the people can. Yeah, caught a fish. Okay, cool. Skin it and gut it.
I don't even eat meat anymore. I know how to stop. I'll be good.
I'm good. I know what the plants that I can eat when I'm in the wild and shit like that. I know all kinds of shit. Plus, I have actual books with that information on it, where these people are gonna be like, "Oh wait, I could just hold on. Let me find out what I can eat."
The internet
doesn't work. What am I gonna do? Where do I find out this information from?
Wait a minute. Hold on. How am I going to charge my phone? Nothing is working. What am I going to do if I can't charge my phone? Then when the internet does come back up, in like an hour, then I'll be able to use my phone again.
Wasn't there a place in the school you could go and find out information? Yeah, we used to go and use the computers in school, the computer lab. No, there's some other place where we can find information.
There's libraries. A what?
What?
Burberry? No, libraries. What's that? Library. They're like a library. They have books in it.
That's why teach your kids, people. Teach your kids. Raise them right. Teach them how to be smart, how to survive without all this shit.
Yeah.
As soon as my wife will let me, I'm just gonna take my kid and drop him off in the woods. Just like, see you later.
You're gonna come back like 300. I went out into the wild, and I came back a man. As I stared down the beast,
I'm gonna be like 100 yards behind him the whole time.
I heard noises only 100 yards away the whole time. I knew as the beast followed me, as I foraged and I survived, that I came back a king. Gonna come back Tarzan or some shit.
Son has a real deep voice.
Well, he's going to come back a man.
He comes back.
He's going back.
How long's he leaving him in the woods for?
I don't know.
Hey, he's going to take a day. 24 hours, he'll be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, he knows all about the weather. He knows what's going on. He's 3.5, and he can tell you why it rains and why it snows.
Exactly.
That's freaking awesome.
He can navigate. He knows the stars. He knows all that shit.
Not yet. He knows the
stars.
He knows the planets. He's learning stars are a little bit. He's just starting to realize what stars are and notice that there's stars and stuff like that.
Cameras.
The moon and shit.
Cameras.
So, but he knows all the planets and shit.
Bright lights.
Big universe. Know what the fucking constellations are. He doesn't like understand. Like I'm like, yeah, look at these. Looks like, you know what I mean. He's not quite getting that. Looks like Orion. He's the warrior, you know. Orion. Look at that. Looks like a dipper. And if you go through and look at it through the seasons, it changes into a cool pattern called a swastika. Oh no! He's in swastika. He's evil. He's bad. No, look it up. Research that shit, please. It's quite a beautiful. It's quite a beautiful symbol and what it represents and what it is. It's fucking way more than what you think it is.
Warped it into. Took something good and beautiful and warped it into a fucking symbol.
It's literally a fucking map of the stars. A lot of these ancient symbols and stuff like that have a lot of meanings and stuff with like that, with the stars, and then with the positive, actually positive meanings and shit.
Yeah.
And then people use these symbols and these things for fucking dark purposes and stuff like that or whatever. Actually, the story, which is quite interesting with Hitler, since we're whatever, and why he uses the swastika. The swastika was actually on some type of like.
It was a school or something across the river.
It was like a school, but it wasn't like a normal school. It was like had to do with like monks and stuff like that. Some type of monks and stuff, like, because it's a fucking. It's a Sanskrit symbol and everything like that. So, and they had this on the wall outside of the school and stuff. It had these symbols, the swastika on there and everything. And he always liked that symbol and stuff. But he... liking that, because a lot of us, we like a lot of the symbols that we wear and we have on, and people don't even realize like that and stuff, like why they're wearing it and stuff. And like you go to Walmart and they have Sherry Yantra fucking shirts and stuff, symbols on shirts and stuff, and people are like, well, that's a nice symbol, no, you know what I mean? If they actually take the time and learn the symbols and look into it and go with what they actually mean and stuff, well, Hitler just like, oh, that's a cool symbol, I'm going to use that one day. Probably doodling on his book in his school that he was at and everything like that. And you know, that's kind of, that's where it comes along, where Hitler fucking used the swastika. And it has this such an evil fucking thing on it, all because of one fucking person fucking used it and whatever. And he didn't even fucking say why he was, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he's just... people just assume that it's fucking evil and shit. It's an evil symbol and everything, and it's not. It's fucking, it literally fucking turn it the way it turns and stuff. If you have it, I can show stuff. I'll post it up on Instagram and everything like that. Oh, I know it's Hippie. I got you. I see you on Instagram. What's up? I've even posted it up before, and the stars and everything like that you can see, and it's not just the North Star, but the way that the Big Dipper goes around the North Star each season and stuff like that, the way that the stars make out, it makes the shape of a swastika if you put it up in the sky. If you had them all up there all at once, all 4 seasons, and you show it, you know, this season it's going this way, this season's going this way, this season goes this way. So it's making the swastika in the sky over the course of the year and stuff, over the seasons and stuff like that. And on the equinoxes, when it's in that point, it makes a perfect, you know what I mean? It makes the thing, you know, and if as it changes, it spins around and stuff, of course, around the fucking North Star. And then the Little Dipper does it on the outside, and it makes another fucking thing, which is the swastika. I forgot what the fuck the pattern is called now. And it makes another thing with the swastika, and it outlocks with the fucking Little Dipper and stuff, and it makes another one. It's pretty cool.
See? Know what things really are. Don't let people manipulate you. Them idiots running around with the fucking using it for symbols of hate, don't even know what it really represents.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd be really pissed off if somebody took the smiley face.
Know your history.
They can, they just flip it upside down.
Search for the truth.
Make it the frown face.
Don't just buy what's being sold to you.
Yeah. Alright, folks. The last blunt's been smoked.
Thank you all for tuning in, watching and listening, everybody.
Come back next time.
Follow us on social media.
Tell a friend, be a friend. Peace and love to you.
During the week.
Happy journeys. Watch out for that severe weather. Survive. Keep doing what you do. Don't let it affect you. And that's it. It's over. We out.
Come on, mouse work.
Bye.
Peace.
You ain't got enough of us yet. Peace and love to you.